Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. Welcome to the Swahili Nation on the One Africa Movement platform. Um, my name is Ezra from South Africa. Tonight, I'm your host again. Um, I'm standing in. Uh, I'm standing in for Mika as he's trying to get strong and regain some strength. And welcome, family. Um, I'll be your host for tonight. For those who don't know my name is Ezra from South Africa, and welcome everybody for joining us tonight. We're gonna have a great show. We're gonna have a great topic. There's just so much to talk about, and yes, I'm standing in for Mika. I know some people will be asking, just to answer them before uh, any questions are asked. I'm standing in for Mika. Mika is around. Mika is in good spirit. We had a chat today. He's feeling much better than yesterday, and continue praying for us, continue praying for Mika, continue praying for his strength, and continue praying for the channel as well, and continue supporting this channel. And I would love to acknowledge each and every subscriber, member, support on the Patreon platforms. um, Please continue supporting us, continue supporting the movement, so that we can take this movement all over the world. And so the movement must go on, and without your support we cannot do it. And we need you to support us, we need you to subscribe, and before we can even do a lot of things, I just want to reach out to those who don't know. Please subscribe to our channel. Um, turn on the notification icon so that you can get the notifications when we go live or when we upload any new videos on the program. That will really help. Because sometimes I see some people are connecting very late, and they miss out a lot, and they end up coming in and sometimes talking about different things that are not on part of the topic. So please turn on the notification icon so that you can get notified when we go live, and you can join as early as possible. And then at least then you'll be in tune with us, and you'll understand what we're talking about, instead of joining late and missing out a lot in terms of the topic that the topics or discussions that we normally have. So um, I really I'm pleading with everyone to turn on the notification, and and just share with family, share with friends, share with colleagues, share with anyone on your social network platforms, on other platforms as well. Please do that. Share, and like. I know to some people, you need to remind them, you need to repeat, and I'm repeating. Please subscribe, please please share. It really means a lot when we trying to reach as many people. um let's share, because the more Africans are joining and knowing about this channel, the better for everyone, so that we can be more united in our approaches, and more united when we are raising issues. And just like with the normal movement, um we had a lot of people, those who catched the move. They continue spreading in other platforms. Twitter, we shook Twitter at some point with the normal movement. and we're still saying no more to other things. It doesn't end here. The movement for no more. So please, family, let's do that. And I see somebody, Pi International. I see you, brother. I see, and Pi International is also a member, our YouTube member, and I would love to share the link, some of the links, for membership that you can join, click, and be part of this movement and support. Choose any membership program that you love to do, and keep the movement going. Keep the movement going, and let's grow the channel. Let's support in any way possible. Uh, um, and again, so you can also join our Patreon movement. Please subscribe and support the channel through the Patreon membership. And again, you can also use the YouTube membership. You can join the YouTube membership program. There's lots of categories there that you can choose, the one that suits your budget, or the one that suits your yeah, whatever you have, man. Let me not even discuss further on that, but please join the Patreon as well, and join the YouTube membership program. um please join. Here's the links as well. You can click on the links and join the membership. Check which category you can afford, and join the membership program. Support the program. We have a lot of programs that are coming. There's a lot of things that we still trying to put together. So family, please pray for us. Please support us. um, and as Africans, we need to support each other. We're not saying support mediocrity, but support good content, support good channels. um, and we are trying to do that. We are not coming here to just beg. We are not begging. We are just saying we're trying to put good content, and we love people to support our the content that we are putting out there, and be part of something. I mean, we can't be going to other nations to ask for funding and all these things, and then we complain when we don't have ownership of our minds, of anything, because we don't support our own. We don't support our own movement. So please support this movement in any way possible. um you know so yeah, join. There's our membership link there that you can also click, and then just check the categories there that you can support. um what else? There's just so many things. There's so many things. Um Tonight I'm just going to continue with yesterday's topic. um but before we go there, I would love to just welcome everybody on the comment section. I see a lot of people that have been commenting. Aneli Wondimu, saying no more, no more, no more, no more, no more, no more, no more. um, no more, no more, no more, no more. Aneli Wondimu. Um, uh, Hello, Mama Africa from Gamada Asfa. Um, wow, there's a lot of people here. Um, wow, I see Asnakesh Tameni saying, waiting for you, brothers and sisters. Join us, Asnakesh. Do not wait. I will be sharing the link soon. So be ready to join, be part of the conversations, and don't wait for others to always lead the way. You are a leader in your own way, in your own right, and we need to show our leadership in every way possible, because Africa needs good leadership, and we are that leadership that needs to take over this continent and move forward. Who else? Sarah Tezema. Hi, 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 hi. Sarah. Mary Antoinette. I see you. Neon Pax. Z A. I know that's SA. Neon Pax. Now it's a more South African name. I see Kenna Feisa. I see Kenna Feisa. Jonas, welcome, welcome, Jonas. Welcome, family. Um, as I already said, I'm standing in for Mika. Mika loves you, family. Mika misses you, and he can't wait to be back in action and be part of the movement. But I know he's watching in the background. But he loves you, and I had a small chat today with him in the afternoons. So, and he was in good spirit. And yeah, he can't wait to be back. He can't wait to be with you. Support the channel. Be here. Join the conversations. And yeah, and as usual, family, that we are a family that prays. Yeah, and we welcome anyone to do it in their own way, in their own style, language, whatever. Um, do it wherever you are. And I would love to reiterate what Mika said a few days ago when he said, Africa, we need to pray for our continent, we need to intercede for this continent, and we need to also obviously intercede for our families as well. So, um, this is what we do, and this is what we believe in. And I would love to open in prayer as a norm in this house. I will open in prayer. Thank you, our Father. Thank you for this day that you've blessed us with. Thank you that our brothers and sisters can come and join and be part of this great movement. We pray, Heavenly Father, that you be with us, that you bless us with wisdom, that you give us um, knowledge and understanding. Help us to build each other up. Help us to be builders of this great continent. We pray, Heavenly Father, that whoever will be joining today will bring good information that we'll all learn and take it forward and apply it in our own spaces and our own environments. We thank you for this day that you've given us. We thank you for this very breath of life. We thank you that for this opportunity to come and speak to the nations all over the world. We thank you, Abba Father, for this night. We thank you in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Ah, thank you, family. Thank you, family. Uh, wow. Guys, as usual, normally I would love to hear from you. What have you been up to today? I've also had I was traveling today. Kind of traveled. Had a lot of things that I was doing today. More family matters to attend to, and I came back in the afternoons. So, what have you guys been up to? What do you want to talk about? If there's any breaking news that I missed, I was on the road today as well. I didn't have time to be up to date with the current affairs, trending news. Please notify us. And let's see, family. Uh, if there's anything that we might have missed from our side, or something that you love to bring to our attention, uh, please notify us. Send us an email. Um, our email address is oneafricaofficial@gmail.com. Um, we're also just gonna send the email if you've got any inquiries, or you wanna come to the show and present something. You wanna come and teach about something. Um, please do that. Send us an email, and Let's set the date and time where we can give you a slot to come and share with the world, come and share with our brothers and sisters here, and yeah, be part of something. Let's not jump on the sheep. Sometimes some people, when you start something, they will not support you, but once they hear that you are doing well, they will jump in. So be part of something, be part of the growth, be part of the foundation of building something. um so yeah, 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 I see some people have been commenting here. Sarah Tezema, uh, thank you, thank you, thank you, Sarah. He is feeling better, he's feeling much better, but continue praying for him, for strength, for wisdom, that he comes back refreshed and ready to lead as well. And let's see, let's see, let's see. Uh, hey, Castel Dev, I love you, I love you, I love you too, I love you, family. Uh, oh, Kelem says I have a nice voice. Thank you very much. Sasa habari yako? Asante sana. Jambo. Let's see, let's see. Yeah, yeah, Pi International, I hear you, brother. I hear you that we need to respect time, because we sacrifice a lot out of the day to do this. We thank you, Pi, and you know much better that we do. It takes a lot to run such programs. It takes planning, and it's life. There's no room for error. Whatever is said is said, and it's out there. So yeah, you understand much better what we go through, and it looks easy until it looks easy. It's easy to criticize and say, "Hey, this guy, why must he wear headset? Why must he do this? Why must he talk like this?" Come and talk, and let's see. This is the hot seat, eh? Thank you, Pi, for that. Uh, uh, um, I see Matra Bekele. Welcome. I've also just shared the link, family, for those who might want to join us and be part of the conversation. I'm opening the lines. Just send the link if you want to come and join the live stream. Please come and join us. Come and if you've got any comment or anything that you think we should talk about, uh, uh, um, please come and join us. Come, let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk. What have you been up to? Um, I don't know if I know some people. It's still morning, especially the people who are in the states. No, it's in the afternoon. Most of them. I think if you are in the West Coast, then that's when it's still in the early morning, Saturday morning. But if you are in New York, I think it should be around 12 midday, or 1 p.m. somewhere there. And yeah, but if you're in Africa, for sure, it is late. It is evening or late afternoons, or early afternoons, for the people who are in West Africa, especially like Senegal, Gambia. They are like 2 hours behind. So I know that it's probably around 6 or just before 7, somewhere there. So yeah, family. I don't know what you want to talk about. Ba- 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 ba. Let's see, let's see, let's see. I've just shared the link, guys. If you want to come in, there's something you want to say, or there's something that you want to talk to us about. The lines are open. The lines are open. Join the StreamYard link on the comment section, and join me here. Join me here. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. And I've just sorry. I've been looking at some of the comments here. No more, more, no more, no more. One Africa, push it hard. The Regia, thank you. No more, no more. One Africa, no more, no more to exploitation. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Bethlehem the Regia, for the love. Um, for those who just joined us, please like our page, like our channel, turn on the notification bell, like and share the link with family on your socials, WhatsApp, Facebook, anywhere, any platform. Just share the link so that other people can be aware and join us. Uh, Thank you for the love, Bethlehem. It means a lot. Um, Amen. Marie Antoinette. Amen. Amen. And Marie Antoinette, I'm still waiting for you to also join us. I see you a lot in the comment section, and I never, I'm yet to see you join us. And another person that I can't wait to see, it's Neo Pax. Um, I would love to know you and come and join us on the link because I see you as well. You comment a lot on the comment sections. And who else? Who else? Who else that I see? There's a couple of people that I see a lot. Even sometimes I do see some of his comments. Say hakuna tena, Mr. EE. Thank you guys. Thank you very much, Askalu Mulugeta. Uh, means a lot. It means a lot. It means a lot. We've got somebody who has a topic here. Guys, I'm just opening the lines and I'm just opening. I'm giving you the floor to voice yourself out. If there's something that you want to talk about, come on, let's talk. That's why I'm just giving you the options. It's a weekend. I don't love dictating the direction, especially on weekends. I love people to be free. Take your cup of coffee, take a cup of a glass of water or juice, whatever. I mean, and let's talk. Let's talk, family. Or some snacks as well. Also, just preparing my coffee. I will be having some coffee while chatting. And I see TG says, let's talk about feminism in African view, or I don't know how, or in Africa. I don't know if that's what you meant. What do you guys think? Feminism in Africa. Feminism in Africa. Hmm. Maybe TG, you can join and elaborate on that. Already have a topic. One person says, let's talk about feminism in Africa. Uh, Maybe you can join TG and let's talk. Let's talk. I see Setagni, Mayu, Ethiopia. One more, no more Africa. We coming to Ethiopia. We are coming to Ethiopia. Uh, I see Adamlak Fekera. No more, no more, no more. One Africa. One Africa. Uh, really now, TG. You shy to talk. I don't believe that. Come in and then I'll tell you if you're shy. I'll remove that shyness if you join. If you join, TG, I'll remove that shyness. So join, and then I'll remove that shyness. I'll help you. So please join. I've sent the link. Click on that link, StreamYard link, and then let's talk. Let's talk, TG. You can't come up with such a topic, and you're a lady, and I think it'll be much better if a lady talks about this issue. or open up about this issue of feminism, and then yeah, we'll let the guys as well have a say. But it's an interesting topic that we can have about feminism. Um, it is a great topic. I see a lot of people. Okay, she says she will talk eventually. Caleb, I saw you on the now and you just disappeared on me. Please reconnect. We need to talk. We need to talk. Yeah, yeah, Pi. True, true. Uh, Tell her she'll get over it, you know. Just want to welcome my brother Caleb.
Hello.
How are you, brother?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
All good, all good, all good. Can't complain.
I am just joining. I don't know really what we're talking about today. Is it about feminism? I'm just joining. I just
Yeah,
joined. Just
that
opened a
was
live video like 2 minutes ago. I really don't know what's happening.
Mm. No, that's TG. It's a lady who asked that we. I just opened the line, Caleb. We can talk about anything, but I was just asking, what do you guys want to talk about? And it happened that she was the first one to say, let's talk about feminism in Africa, and I told her to come and join us and say what she has to say since she came up with the topic of feminism. But she's telling us that she's shy and all that. This is a message saying I'm shy to talk, and I see Pi has been trying to encourage to come in and all those things, you know.
Yeah, I mean it's
So
better to listen to her point of view, and then we can actually chip in.
exactly, you know. But if you've got something to talk about, brother, also feel free. I don't know. It's a weekend. It's a Saturday, so on my side, um, we can still talk about yesterday's topic. I wanted to do a part two of it.
It happened
Uh,
that
but
she was the
I will I'll allow people today just to feel free. Let's talk about anything, and then yeah, we'll take it from there.
What was yesterday's topic? I'm sorry, I wasn't here.
Oh, you weren't here yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay. Yesterday's topic it was about this thing about us as Africans. Here's yesterday's topic. It was we keep on people keep on saying African solutions for African problems, and what does that mean? I mean, to some people it doesn't really. What are those solutions? Because it seems like we're talking more about problems than even solutions. So that was the topic for yesterday. um, Uncle Kuru, he's the one who came up with this topic. In fact, that we what are these African solutions? What are these African solutions? Because we keep on saying African solutions for African problems. What does it mean? But because looking at the fact that most people are just talking about African problems, no solutions. It's all about African problems, African problem. But we quick to use the statement African solutions for African problems. That was the topic.
Oh, it's a big topic, huh?
It is, it is, it is.
Let me join back. I'm on my phone right now. Let me just join back from my laptop. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, yeah. Feel free to
All right.
come back. Yeah.
All right. All right.
Right. Abdul,
Yeah, what's up, buddy? How are you?
all good, brother. All good. How's things on your side?
Can't complain. It's a weekend. You
It's a
know,
weekend. How's
less busy.
business?
Thank
It's
God.
busy.
Less busy.
Wow.
Less busy. So I'm
Oh.
not. That's why I'm not late today.
Wow, 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 wow. Now, after after the conversations and whatnot, I'm telling you, the customers are gonna flood in your business. I'm telling you, gonna start flying, flying. You're gonna get busy and
Yes.
busy and busy and busy. You know.
Yes. With your prayers, of course.
Of course, of
You're
course.
the pastor. So.
I'm calling all the customers from the north, the south, east, west, come, go to Abdul's store now in Jesus' name.
I mean for that.
Amen.
Yes, yes. So I think you should honor the sister by giving her the opportunity to talk about feminism in the African context. I think that's a quite interesting thing. You know.
Yeah, it is. But look what she said earlier. She said, "I'm shy to talk." After she said we must talk about feminism, and then the second message was, then she said, "I will talk eventually." And TG, I'm still gonna put you on the spot, eh? Still gonna put you on the spot. So everyone is saying, "Come in, come in." I see even Sarah, TG, if you can see what Sarah said, says, "TG, if you want to speak about feminism, you need to break out from shyness."
Yeah.
So everyone is encouraging you. So everyone is supporting you. So
I'm sure by the end of the show, she'll click on the link by the end of the show.
exactly,
And more of the women, they'll
more
all
to the woman,
that's African feminism. Quite interesting. I think for me with anything that I'm not sure we're gonna import it you know um, 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 from outside coming in.
Mm,
I think it should be beyond even feminism. I think anything that we're dealing with as Africans should be filtered, and
mm,
be in line with the African, with our ethos, our culture, our history, our tradition.
mm,
I think these are very, very important to when it comes to even democracy, but especially with feminism, with the women, there are universal norms that we can accept as humans. We know wrong is wrong. Some wrongs are really universal, and some rights are universal. But there is this gray area also where some would take it to the extreme, you know,
mm, mm,
um, and then that becomes a problem also with the idea of culture, in Africa, and you know, f- feminism is so broad from what I know. I wish a woman can come here and talk about it, but from what I the little I know is that it's just so broad, and there's so many different ideology within. You have some feminism that really just look at men as enemies, literally. They just everything is the men's fault. They are the problems of this world, and we, women needs to take over the world and make sure that but we just have to fight them. That's the mindset. That's the extreme side. And then you have
mm,
people that are just calling for basic rights that they deserve, which for me personally, I think that's the one I really um, would support wholeheartedly, just to see women take their right places in society, because they're always more when you look at the population, anywhere in the world, especially in Africa.
mm.
So it's quite an interesting topic to get into.
Uh, and another thing, just to add to what you're saying, Abdul, is the fact that women make the majority in the continent, but it seems like their voices are not coming up. We like TG, for example. We need to build more women who can have the courage to speak their mind freely. Um, regardless of whether people judge you or whatever. At the end of the day, you said what you needed to say, and it reach out to somebody. So
Yeah,
um, we need more women. I mean, we can't have Africa. Most of us were raised by mothers as well. So we spend most of our time with our mothers than even our fathers. So it's one of those things where we need those people, our mothers and our sisters, to be in the forefront of society and build the society, because men, as men, we've dominated so much as well, in terms of jobs and I mean, places of influence. And now as women, we need you to play a role as well, and not sit behind. Because sometimes the more you sit behind and don't come out and break the stereotypes and the systems, it will always look like it's a man's world, it's a man's world, you know.
I
But
agree. I agree.
mm,
I think they need to be visible in society, and there ought to be also a mechanism for women also that would make sure that enfranchise, like, just put him out there and make sure that it embolden them to um, take their right places in society.
mm,
But she posed a question about 50-50 bills. I believe this is about work. Is it fair?
mm,
um that the idea of, if you look at, we can go back, to history and just look at how, society were constructed, and how the men would go out to hunt, and
mhm,
how the men is, in charge in terms of protecting the family, in terms of going out, bringing meals, and making sure the woman feels safe at home. These are, like, early stages of how, these two social beings, interacted. But now, in this day and time, things are more complicated.
mm,
More women are working. They're providing services than men. It's not like back in the industrial revolution where you have physical labor was, you know the thing of the day. Everyone used to go out to factories. It was mostly men. But
mm,
now that you're dealing with just sitting in front of a computer and providing services, as a secretary, a lot of women tend to do those jobs at banks, and they tend sometimes to make more money than the men, and it becomes complicated, especially in
mm,
the traditional African household. So,
mm.
but I think it's just, I don't think it's really, I don't think it should be 50-50. If you were to ask me, I think it's every family is unique. Sometimes you would have a, situation where the men might not, be might be going through some economic hardship, where the women can, transition and take over and help the family. And sometimes, you'll have the traditional household, where you'll have the men providing, and the woman is um, a housewife taking care of the kids. So I think it all depends, really.
Um, yeah, I don't think 50-50. So, in my opinion, uh, if the question is specifically about payment, I do believe women should be paid the same amount for the same job, right? If she's talking about like payments, I'm not sure. Say bill 50-50, I'm not sure, TG. But then, uh, the way I see feminism, it's about equality. But when we say equality, right, we need to divide it into two, right? There is equality and opportunity. That's how the feminists in the 90s in the Western world used to fight for. And then there is equality of outcome, where the new feminists are fighting for, right? So when we say equality and opportunity, that's the one I stand for, by the way. Um, that is, women should be represented equally, right? They should have equal opportunity in anything, like equally represented in school, right? They need to have the opportunity to go to school, opportunity to study whatever they want, right? And whatever whatever they want to do with their lives, right? They need to have equal opportunity as men. But then if we're talking about equal outcomes, right? That's the third wave feminism are fighting for nowadays, right? So those ones specifically, they're like, hey, men might be doing a good job when it comes to this specific area, but why aren't we paid the same? No, you shouldn't. Like, we shouldn't be fighting for equal outcomes. That is impossible. First, we have to. How do I put this? I'll just give you an example. For instance, in the U.S., the soccer team, the women and the men are paid different, right? And then there was actually a trial going on for the past 6 months. I'm not sure. So the women were like, they were fighting. They want to get paid equal. But then the thing is, the amount of revenue the men's soccer team bring in, and the amount of revenue the women's soccer team brings in are totally different. So you can't assume, and then you can't get equal outcomes. It's not possible. So whatever revenue they bring in, they should be paid accordingly. That's how I see it. So equal opportunity I stand for, but then if as the current feminisms are trying to fight equal outcomes, I'm not really for it. I don't know if you guys get my point.
Yes, yes, yes. So
Agree.
I'm reading here from the comment, and she's saying, I think she's trying to make it clear. She said, "Sorry for not making it clear. The equality I was talking about is in the household. So it's basically income, the men and women income that they're both generating and bringing in. Should it be 50-50? I guess, in terms of paying bills, spending on food, clothing, chores, kids,
So this is between like a husband and wife type of situation.
basically, yeah.
Uh, now that's I think it comes down to like we need to individualize a certain family group, right? Because it might differ. I think it comes down to their own opinions within that within that household. Like if the woman is bringing in more money, like I think it's like common sense for her to chip in more, right? And then if it's the man bringing all the money, like him being like, hey, I can't be doing all of the job, but no, it doesn't work like that. You're the one who's working. So I don't think
Yes,
it's possible to make it 50-50 in the household.
yes. Men by nature tend to be more dominant, and you know, as a result of that, we tend to be very proud. Pride also comes into play. And then when you look at culture, the idea of a man in Africa, because it's feminism, we have to look at it from the African perspective also. When your wife is making more than you as an African man, sometimes there might be some kind of conflict, especially if you're dealing with, you've been in charge. Are you really in charge when she's making more than you financially? In that kind of setting in Africa, you're dealing with, you know, in-laws and extended families who are looking at the men as, the one in charge of the household, and in reality or financially, it's the woman who's really in charge. So things become very, very, very tricky and complicated. And in some cases, the woman might look at herself as the one who's saving the family, and she might abuse that, marital circumstances by asserting herself, to be in certain positions. So, and that leads to divorce, in most cases. But I don't think it should be a conflict if the women and the men are on mutual platform in terms of understanding their realities, and looking at it as, a union that is working together. No, I don't think it should be I don't think it should be an issue, really.
Mm.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think they should like discuss this before the marriage. Oh, I'm sorry. Ezra, you're about to talk.
no, no, no.
Did I
Continue, Caleb.
interrupt?
Continue. No, no, no. Continue.
No, I
Continue.
just wanted to say, yeah, I just wanted to say they should discuss this before marriage. Like, obviously, they would know if the woman is making more. And if that seems to be a problem, like, they shouldn't go with the marriage. But then I don't really see, and I'm also from Africa, and I don't really see any problem with a woman making more than me. It's, it's just, it's normal, in my opinion.
Yes, yes, I agree. I don't think it should be a conflict. But sometimes going into a marriage, the beginning might be, let's say the man might, you might be working as a man, and and be able to provide you know um, the money or what is required for you to get married, because it's quite expensive in Africa, getting married. So in
Mm,
most cases, it's really the men who would go out of their way in terms of saving and making sure they provide all the expense and taking care of that situation. So coming in, oftentimes it looks like the men in Africa were prepared financially, at least in the initial stages, to get married. But then later on, down the line, things might change. You might find yourself, you might be going through some trials and tribulations, and though your wife or partner might be lucky enough to be hired or win a lottery or something. I don't know, but if that happens, even if you might have that conversation, you know, that conversation might not be, there, or that understanding in the initial stages, because things really do change, as you progress in life.
mm, very true. And coming to this topic, I think it also I'm not sure in terms of like I think it also goes from household to household. I know in some African traditions, if we are now talking about equality in the home, or 50-50, as our sister TG is asking. Um, some cultures might not, if somebody follows his culture or whatever culture that he belongs to, 50-50 might not be applicable in a home. As a man, you're just required to provide, and as a wife, everyone has a role, and you play that role and that part, and nothing else. So you can't talk about 50-50, because now if you say 50-50, do you say I must wash the dishes today, tomorrow you wash the dishes, I must pay the school fees, you must pay the school fees? What is it? It's a very broad topic as well. So and in some cultures, Abdul, you'll know that. Imagine, Abdul, if let's say we grew up in the same household. As men, we never wash dishes. If I find you in your house washing dishes, it will be a shock for me. I'll be like,
No,
what's
your
happening here?
it's
You
gonna be
know?
a problem. Like, just she's gonna have a problem with her mother-in-law first and foremost.
Exactly.
If she walks in and see her son washing it, the dishes, and it's in African villages. From what I know, maybe there might be more liberal areas out there. It's a huge continent, but for my neck of the wood, you catch a man washing dishes, not in the cities, but especially in those villages.
Mm,
It's a problem. It's
that's the
almost
problem.
it's a death sentence. It's a divorce right there. The mother
But
is
Yeah.
gonna
shouldn't
coming in.
shouldn't that change? Shouldn't we actually change that?
I think it
Like no
also.
matter
Yes,
our culture,
yes.
like
I don't. Washing dishes should be a men
the,
should be. It's a blessing, really, if you can help your wife.
it's just washing dishes.
I know.
It's not a big deal. Yeah.
I
So
know.
I don't.
It shouldn't
I
be.
know it's a
Shouldn't be.
cultural thing. I know it's how we grow up. But like even if it's our culture, like there are certain things we need to try to change, and I do believe this is one of them. Because the way I grew up, my dad never went into the kitchen. Like I don't even know if my dad knows where the kitchen is. So I'm just like, but now me personally, like I think we're culturally evolving, and I think this also needs to change at some point.
Mm, uh, 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 I'm trying to create a topic. I think this is very interesting. I think, Caleb, uh, um, in many homes, we all different. As you say that your father never went into the kitchen. It was like a taboo if you had to find your father in the kitchen, because he goes and sit at this table. They bring food. They take his plate back to the kitchen. If you had to go to the kitchen, probably to drink water or maybe take juice in the fridge or something. But finding him there chopping onions or tomatoes, it can
So
be
so
quite.
What I tend to really, I don't want to say believe, but like reality. Sometimes you know let's look at these realities also and not just be philosophical. You know,
Mm,
if like for me, the way I see people coming together, I think it comes with just responsibility. I believe those coming together um, balance things out. I believe you have to find this equilibrium where everyone has a role and a responsibility to play. And I think if everyone plays their role, accordingly, um, things would work out instead of usurping each other's space. You know, just keeping the culture and um, the heritage, the history, and how things really are set up socially speaking. I think if everyone plays their role, you know, you most of the time, marriages do work out. Even if a woman is making $1 million, um,
mm,
even if she sees her husband occasionally washing dishes, but she knows that this is part of my responsibility as a mother of the house to wash the dishes, but my husband also would help if I'm busy or caught up with some other chores in the house. She acknowledges the fact that she has some responsibility, maybe to cook. Because some African men, it's nothing like going home and your wife's cooking for you, and I don't think it's oppression. Because in the West, most people would go out to restaurants. They go out to restaurants. I'm sure maybe South Africa, because South Africa is like the little Western nation in Africa. It's not as it's not the intense Africa. It's watered down a little bit.
they still cook. I mean, so many people in the homes. I mean, if I had to tell you, on average in most homes, depending on which class you fall under, because in South Africa there's also classes, and obviously you've got high income earners, you've got rich people, you've got high income earners, you've got middle class, and you've got your low income earners, and then you've got people who are unemployed who are just hustling, you know. So for people who are mostly your middle class, your working class, and obviously rich people, they tend to have, maybe they go to restaurants anytime. Maybe some people they don't cook on a Friday. Every Friday, for example, they don't cook. They eat out, and then the rest of the days they can cook in the house. So it also depends on where you fall in terms of your income bracket, and whether you have a business you can to support such activities.
Yes, because
Mm,
most young women that are coming up in most cultures in Africa, especially the one that I'm personally exposed to, most cultures would tend to groom the women
mm,
to be prepared for the realities of getting married. And one of them would be teaching them how to cook. Teaching them how to sweep the house, how to vacuum, how to, do these basic things that the parents themselves expect, that when they give out their daughter, they expect her to not put that kind of shame to them. And you go to a new home and then they'll tell you, like, you can't even cook or clean, and they look at it as an embarrassment, you know
mm,
because it's just a cultural thing. So I think all these things, I don't know, we can argue whether it's a good thing or not, but but it these realities are in Africa. And my belief is, if it's not a problem, like they said, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. If it's not an issue, if it's not gonna disenfranchise the women, then we can leave it as it is, if that's what's gonna maintain the social construct of our society moving cohesively. you know
mm. I mean,
but but it does a little. It does affect the woman. I don't. So we might have something good here in Africa, but then changing it, like going towards perfection, I don't see that as a problem. So if we can fix a couple of things within our culture, I don't really see the problem in it. And TG in the comments shows like, in my opinion, women's role didn't change from the past. For instance, cooking, raising babies, and whatnot. Yeah. And for that question, I just want to say, I think here also in Africa, men are the ones making more money, right? If I'm not mistaken. Generally speaking, men make more money, right? So if that's
Yeah.
the case, how can the men be making the money and be inside the house raising the kids? He can do both. So TG, I'd like to see TG in the conference call, so we can discuss this. But yeah,
Yes, yes. I also think, some of these things are so. It's true. Feminism came and things are changing. But if you look at not even Africa, just outside of Africa and the globe and the way things function, the relationship and expectation between a man and a woman, um, you tend to see the same thing if you really look very closely. If a woman gets married in the West, for instance, Michelle Obama, or Michelle Obama got married to Barack Obama. The first thing they do in the West is they let go of their name and adapt the husband's name and give him that authority. They take his identity, and the kids would take the last name of, the fathers, just the acknowledgement of dominance. If, what Hillary Clinton, she took all these women in the West, they tend to, and I believe in Africa to some extent, they tend to get married and get consumed by this dominant power that they're going into, and is these are things that are there that we tend to, not pay attention to. But men is giving is physically, physically the men is, tend to be stronger. By nature they tend to be very muscular and not, have feminine features. And that goes for the idea of going out to hunt and going to war and being more aggressive by nature. And all of that also has implication in these
Mm,
two, in the relationship between a man and a woman. So all these things are there also. And fighting also and saying we have to be equal. Nature also has this part. We also have to pay attention to, our physical makeup also, and how that ties into, the emotional part, the psychological part, the social part. I think all these are very, very important things that sometimes we overlook.
mm.
hmm
Wow.
hmm yeah. There's actually a study on that, like countries who try to. Oh, Israel, I'm sorry, like I'm
No, no,
interrupting you
continue.
about time.
Nah, talk.
Uh,
Feel free today.
uh,
Today, the it's just the three of us so far, so we have all the time to talk. So don't worry about me.
okay,
We can talk.
okay. He said like it's hard to push for equality on everything, and I think that's true. There was actually a study in the Scandinavian countries. One is the Scandinavian countries are known for pushing for equality more than any other Western countries. And then when they actually try to do that, when they try to close the gap on the temperament scale, the study actually shows the opposite. When they tried to make them equal on practically everything, the difference between men and women grew. That's what the study showed, like totally the opposite. So I don't think, yeah, like pushing for equality on everything. It's not ideal, and it's not, it's not possible.
Mm,
And that's what we see with some of those feminist movement, in the West, the extreme version of it. They're
mm,
literally making men into, enemies, and really going really, really hard and saying, whatever a man can do, they can do it. And it gets very, very complicated. Very, very, very complicated, because now you start, you know, when it comes to rights, okay, we all support, making sure that our women are enfranchised, our women are, giving the right platform to make sure that they at least pursued, whatever they want to pursue in this life. While at the same time, society, the way things are structured, is very, very. You can open a can of worm if we start to, change everything so fast and not really thinking rationally. There was a case here where this guy, it's not it's like an LGBT, but it ties into it, the idea of freedom and the idea of empowering people. He decided to change his mind. He said he's not, um he don't believe he's a male. He want to be a female, and he was an athlete in the swimming club. And they let him. He started going, swimming with the women, and he broke all the all the records. And he's been praised for breaking all the records. And a lot of people are just, they want, people just don't know what to do right now. Some people are criticizing from behind the scene, but if you speak, then that becomes a hate crime. So all these things, the idea of rights, it is a can of worm that needs to be, I believe, filtered. We have to be very careful, in implementing, because once you tell someone that it's okay for them to do this, then you cannot really deny someone else who might come with something very strange, and tell you, listen, I also have the right to do this, and then there's no limits in, all these people coming, and you just don't know what's going to come next.
Mm. I see. Look at this comment from Nana Dreams. For example, this thing also going into different countries as well, having their own cultural makeup. Where he says in Ghana is not 50-50. Everyone has a role. In America, is definitely 50-50. So it seems like more in the African space, it's a different story. I guess now, if you're a man, a man growing up in Africa, if let's say you've got older sisters, they were doing the cooking, they were doing most of the work, and then you grow up now and you have to now leave Africa and go to the Western world. You go to UK, you go to the US. Now the culture shock or the responsibilities on you to make sure that you find food for yourself. And that's where we start seeing men doing other chores, like maybe washing dishes and cooking, and because now they don't have that structure anymore that they had back home.
Yes, yes, and you're right. In the West, what's happening is, a lot of family, especially the Black community in America, is being, like, it's just going down,
Mm,
because the women are giving so much privilege. They're giving you the signal that if you get a divorce, also, it's fine. The government would take care of you if you can prove that you are a single mother. You get so many incentive for being a single mother. They look at it as helping you, but in a way, they're
mm,
encouraging you to, because you're gonna get some money. You're gonna get money for to pay, on your house. I believe they call it Section 8, and you're gonna have food stamp. In the Black community. So it's so many other stuff that they put into these things that really, make some of the women don't really, mind getting a
mm,
divorce or moving on, because the system is so structured in a way where, um, it favors them, you know at least from the surface.
mm. Because I see another comment that I think TG also earlier she had also said this, saying, In my opinion, women's roles didn't change from the past. For instance, cooking, raising babies, etc. And also, she started working 9 to 5. So I think that's the only thing that changed for women. Now they started working because before they were not working, but the other roles still remains with them.
Yes, yes. Some of these things definitely cannot, like I was saying, if you look at just the, biological part between a man and a woman. um, you know, if a woman is expecting a child, they will have to bear that child for 9 months.
Mm,
It's not the men, it's the women that have to go after, delivery. Whether they breastfeed or not, they will have to go through that process also. And the child tend to be, for survival purposes, they tend to be, at least for the from birth to 2 years old, they will be very close to that woman. So all these things also, they have an effect on the idea of 50-50, because when you look at it from that perspective, the woman also would be in situation where she wouldn't be able to compete 50-50, because nature it's at odds with some of those ideas.
Very true.
Mhm.
I want to welcome our brother here, Icon Fire from Jamaica. Brother man, Icon Fire. Can you hear us, Icon Fire?
Thank you.
How
Um,
are you, brother?
good afternoon, good evening, my people. So I want to say this, that relationships and between male and female, we gotta really take it serious, and we gotta really, I think we gotta create our own trend, um, opposing this trend. You understand? It's like this.
Mhm. Hmm.
We are trained in a particular way, and a lot of us, it's like, what do you have to do to make things work, right?
Hmm.
And are you going to comply or make your own way? So I see there's a trend, and I'm seeing that if you take that trend and you go and then you might just get what you don't like and what you never wanted.
Hmm.
So we gotta really train. I think that, listen, if you support what you support, you gonna get it back. That's what I have to say. The things that
Uh, Icon, are you still here? Think we lost Icon there. Um,
Yes, what
I
he's saying is very important. I
mm,
with the trend, I think we have systems in Africa already. Especially, we also need to look at the religious component of it also.
mm,
A lot of um, most of the inhabitants in on the continent are adherents to Christianity and Islam, and these also has very, very, very strong role and influences in terms of dealing with marital situations, and how to deal with each other. And a lot of people also would seek counsel at either churches or mosque. And there are systems even within the Bible or the Quran. There are people take those things very, very seriously. They take examples and inspirations from these holy books. And I think also that's in Africa, that's really, if we really go down into it, that's what
yeah.
most people are adhering to.
Did anyone hear me or understand me? My phone may be um cut off. Did anyone understand what I was saying
no, we
or hear
lost
me?
you there. We couldn't hear you. We lost you
Are
there.
you hearing me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah. As the brother B was saying, that we are under a particular organization, two, in fact, Islam and Christianity, right? And of course, there are good in all of it, but there are a lot of bad. You feel me? Imagine we are in a dilemma where we are actually being tormented by the people who instituted Christianity. So 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 Ethiopia is fighting against the mediocrity which they are the people that instituted Christianity. So we have to really and Islam. So we have to really say, well, what does that make our woman? What kind of loyalty do our women have? You understand? How does that um so do we want our loyalty? Do we want you understand? It's like it makes a tag of war in the family, right?
Hmm.
You black, and you're not gonna be anything else than black. But this odd thing is in the family where everybody's supposed to be have closing their eyes and seeing this photograph, right? So it kind of give you it takes away your self-esteem and hers too. You feel me? So it's
Hmm.
like you're gonna have a wife that have low self-esteem. So a lot of people can work through it, and it can, but a lot of people gonna be defeated by it. You feel me?
Hmm.
So we gotta really say, what do we really want? Do we really want this tag of war where, say, someone who is starting to understand himself, right?
Hmm.
Like like a bro in the other conversation yesterday was saying that he don't know if he gonna keep his wife, because when
Hmm.
he starts studying Egypt, she's saying that why would you study that evil thing, and why would you understand? So it's like this thing is causing a rift between us all. You feel me? In which
Hmm.
it is tearing up the family, because as soon as you start to um like understand yourself, so it causes something. And the woman is more loyal to spirituality and religion and all that more than us. You feel me? And
Hmm.
so we really have to understand. So I have to say that we really have to take, as men, let me tell you, you don't want your woman not loyal. You understand?
Exactly.
You,
Exactly.
you, you don't want her easy to another race. You want your woman easy to you. You feel me?
Hmm.
That I mean, any man don't want that. I think you not so smart. So how do you do that? How do you do that? Because right now, look, in Jamaica, Africa, all of that, our women's eyes are on the other race, money, right? So what we gotta do? What you think we gotta do as men? We gotta take control of Africa. Therefore, our women look up to us. It don't mean we gonna do her anything. It means she gonna ultimately give us respect for taking our space and giving her the security that she was looking for from the other team. So we need to take away her option, not not by doing her anything. Take it away from the other team. So I'm
Hmm.
saying to men right now is, are we playing? You see, God come on the other day, and he was objecting to nothing. That means you are sending to the universe that you playing with your um liberation, your mental liberation, and our people's liberation with jokes. And how you gonna live as a man and your woman don't respect you? You feel me? So in
Hmm.
order to get respect, we gotta stand up as men.
Hmm.
So it's one thing that the black race got to do, as far as I see, that's men, not women, is go
Hmm.
to war with the opposite race. Mentally right now, and and in plans for physical. That's how I see it. I mean, I'm just a
Yeah,
man.
definitely.
I'm a
That's
warrior.
your points are noted. Yeah, I have my objection to few, but just a point of correction with the spread of Christianity in Africa. The Europeans didn't really bring Christianity to Africa. Christianity was there before
True,
colonization.
true,
Okay,
true.
Christianity was in Abyssinia way before Europeans
Way back,
You,
ever
yeah.
you see,
thought of coming to Africa.
I
Mm.
understand what you're
Oh,
saying.
okay.
You see, I understand what you're saying, right? And but look, I want to tell you, mediocrity is a powerful thing. In Ethiopia, they exchanging our black Christ for a white one right now. And I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. So
Uh,
so me so
What do you mean?
but
I
listen,
don't
but
there's
get
but
a
that.
yeah. What do you mean?
and
Can
they're doing
fire?
it for tourism, right?
How are
Go
they
ahead.
doing that?
You mean the
I
image,
can.
the images? Is that what you're talking about? The
Yes, yes,
images of Christ?
the
Oh,
image,
okay.
the image.
Mm,
But the
uh,
children are seeing it. You may allowing the children to see. You
What
didn't
image?
explain that nothing to them. You understand what I'm saying? When the ladies in Ethiopia sees it as a child, you never showed her that, oh, this is just for them to, and it's foolishness, and you have it right there, and you are saying that, oh, that's Jesus and all that. So how you think they grow up? What type of loyalty do you think you gonna get? You understand? If we don't deal with these things and know that it is disturbing our people and it is swaying our loyalty from our people to our own self. You feel
Yeah.
me? We
Yeah,
gotta really think
but
about.
can I ask
go
this
ahead. Go
question?
ahead,
Yeah.
Ezra.
Yeah,
Can
sorry.
you
Yes, yes.
guys answer this one before we? I think we're gonna go off topic now. Sarah Tizem asked this one. Is it really culture to cook and do housework? What a question
For
from a
which you
lady
mean
now.
for
She's.
women?
I think for yeah, I think so.
I think
Sarah Tizema, if you can maybe elaborate on this question. Um, whether it's a culture to cook and do housework, whether you asking for women or men in Africa.
no, I think if she's
Would it-
acting, she's definitely referring to women because I've
Yeah,
you know
I don't know what's wrong with my data, but let me explain something, right? We are the
Mhm.
beginning of everything. Yes, we are. But people do their own translation also. All right, watch this. Things they hide from us is what we should seek for. Things they expose to us is what we should close our eyes to. Because you have to understand these people are very tricky. Ask yourself this. Why was education free? Why was church free but education was not free? Why was church permitted but education was not permitted? Don't education make a man a man? So if what makes you a man was withheld, but church was free, what is the equation you see in that? You have to
But I think
really equate it.
I think if I may come in there, Icon. I know now we are out of topic of what we have to be focusing more on today. I think it was it's like most of the things, remember the systems that were normally used. Church was more the core, your spiritual aspect of your life, and then the education in terms of, now we're talking about trade, because remember education before it became the education that we see today. At some point it has evolved in so many ways. At some point, before it became what we now use, there was more the trades and stuff were the main education of life, where you had to learn a trade to make a living. Then it moved into now the formal structure, where now we are into, you go to
I mean,
classes
all
and
right.
can you hear me, guys?
Yeah. We can hear
Can
you.
you hear me? Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just explaining that
Yeah,
sometimes let's look at
yeah,
the
I
evolution of
can.
things. Even education moved in different phases. So, and church also moved in different phases. So, like for example, churches. When you now talking about since Abdul also had to correct you in terms of how Christianity didn't come with the Europeans. It came. It was here prior to the colonization that we experienced, be it in 1885 or even prior, from 1600 to 1500 until today. Those were missionaries that came. Some of the education that came with the Europeans were formed by the churches. By the way, the formal education, like in my country, for example, the it used to be like your Catholic schools. A Catholic church will have a school. It was a church and a school. So even Luther, that you had a lot of churches that had schools and also churches. They taught you the doctrine and
I,
also gave you education. So
I
that's why
admire the African
sometimes we need to also look at how education has evolved to where it is now, where education at some point now in our day to day, it has moved away from the church, and it's a separate entity where you go to a separate
all
institution
right.
to
You
get
know,
education.
I admire. I admire the African perspective of things. You feel me?
Hmm.
I really admire it, but it's not fulfilled. You all right. You have an experience of where you own, right? So so the church come and give you a certain respect due to where you own. So
But what do you
really,
mean by that?
only
I don't get your statement, Icon.
all right, all right. You are from you are originated. Your origin is from not Namibia, the diamond place, right? That's your origin. So
The
the
diamond
church
place.
came to your land. Yeah, Botswana. Botswana. So the church
No,
came
no,
to
I'm not
your
from. I'm not from Botswana. I'm from South Africa. But the diamond fields, they cut across from South Africa, go to
okay,
in
the
this. If you
same
talk about
diamond
South,
place.
it's
All
the
right, you
same
come from the same
so-called
diamond place,
diamond
South
fields. Yeah, I
Africa.
can just say so. Yeah.
All right, hold on. So the church came to the land of your origin. So
The church
Okay.
was there.
the
Point of the church
hostility
was already
wasn't
way there before
the,
they came. They was already there before they came.
Mm. Remember, Icon, you know the
um
concept of
I
God.
I
Can I just say
listen,
something there?
listen, listen.
Before
Hold on,
the
man.
concept.
I didn't say the church came with the concept of God to you. I did not say anything like that.
No,
I'm talking about
that's what
the church.
that, that's why I
I'm
wanted
talking
to
about
explain
the
something as
church.
well there.
You feel me? Just listen.
Yeah.
I know my history. I know African history too. The church is Rome. Rome is Europe. And the other stuff we had was, as you said, we had Ethiopian, in which Ethiopia adopted um Roman Christianity in the time of
Mm, I can.
No, I
I
mean
think
this is
I
history
think I
that
can
this
now is
is
also
yes,
taking
yes,
us
Rob.
out
This
of
is
the topic for today.
yeah,
But
let's answer the sister's question. But you
yeah,
know, Christianity was in Africa before Constantine. Okay,
exactly.
Constantinople, which is modern day Turkey today. You know,
Mm,
Constantine came and Christianity was split in. It was split into two. You have the Eastern Roman, which is which is Italy today, and then you have Western Rome, which was Constantinople. You know, the origin of the Catholic Church came from this events, but you know Martin Luther with the Protestant Revolution came about, and they broke away from Catholicism.
mm,
When they broke away, now you have the Anglicans and all these different denominations. These are the people that came into West Africa. It was not
mm,
the Catholic Church per se, Rome
mm.
itself. You know,
mm,
so I think is we have to make that distinction also. It's not Rome that came. You know, yes, it's true. Constantine came about, and Christianity conquered him. He converted. You know,
mm,
but when you know colonialism began with the Portuguese, and then the Dutch, the British came about. These were not Catholic per se. The French were, and the Irish, but not
mm,
the English.
mm,
And the rest of them. And most
because
of most of us in West Africa, we dealt with people that were not Catholic. Catholicism came way later on.
mm, true. I mean, I think the two churches that came from with that mostly came with the British was the Anglican and the
The
Lutheran
Wesleyan,
as well. Yeah, the Wesleyan as well. So there were
yes,
three.
and
There's
Methodists,
so Methodists as well. So
yes,
there was a lot from that came with the British, but a topic for another day. I think
exactly.
ICANN is removing us from the main topic for today. ICANN. Brother, let's stick to the topic. The ladies wanna hear. They want answers here. Can we stick to this and just leave the other topic for another day? A sister asked. I think you can answer this. I can, and then I'll go to Caleb. Where they're asking a question there. I don't know if you can see the question. Caleb, I don't know if you wanna tackle this. Then Abdul will
Mm-hmm.
also answer. Our sister Sarah there is asking a question that is it a culture to cook and do housework as a woman?
The way I see it, uh, since the beginning of time, there was a gender role, and men were obligated to protect and um security and bringing food to the table, right? And then the women had their own gender roles. So we went thousands of years from that time. So I think within this thousands of years, it has become a culture that we sort of taken the gender roles as culture. That's how I feel.
Yes,
Mm,
I agree. I think these are primordial. I think going back into history, and I keep stressing on not just the social structure also, but the biological aspect of it also. That has a very important you know role to play in terms of our perception and how the two genders deal with each other. The men go out to hunt. You go out to
mm,
hunt. You bring the food home to your family, and the wife prepares it and give it to the kids to eat and for herself, and the consumption of the entire family. Usually they'll do that area. So it seems like everyone has a responsibility and a role to play, and that's why the human race really spread out very fast because things were very organized. Going back in those, whatever they call it, ice age, stone ages, but I
mm,
think the human being, comes with, we all have a role to play, and this was part of it also, and we still have this biological thing that we're dealing with, because if a woman gave birth to a child, you know
mm,
it doesn't matter if there's, I know we have wigs, we have different ways now of providing meal to a child, but you know the original way of providing that meal once the child is born is the breast milk, and the
mm,
man has no role to play with that, with
mm,
that
mm,
issue. So it's just the woman who's going to be taking care of that. So when you look at that, you start to see a different picture also, in terms of responsibility.
mm.
Those you cannot fight. Nowadays, you can fight it. You can have two men in the house and they can adopt a child and say they have a child and they'll get a bottle of milk. We've seen all these things. So the world has changed gradually. But
Exactly.
I
that it is an interesting observation, Abdul. I must say that the world has really changed in terms of some of the roles. As men, we were now we had to adjust and adapt. I mean, I think we already, as we already said, I'm sure Abdul, when you moved from the Gambia going to the States, you had a lot of adjustments. Certain things that you were not doing back home, you started doing them for yourself. I'll assume. I don't know, but yeah, unless if you left with your wife and you still have everything in your own way in the role part. And Caleb, what do you believe in? Do you also believe in 50-50, or do you believe in the role part, uh, as others said?
Uh, I do believe men and women have different roles, um, but
Different
there are
roles.
certain things that we can improve. Uh, we can actually put specifically for Africa, we have equality problems in certain areas. I'm originally from Ethiopia, and to this day, we have affirmative action in our school systems where it's easier for women to actually join universities. They require a less score for women, and that is because women are strictly forced to work in the house and whatnot. So they're not like, especially in the rural areas, they're not seen as equals. So I think there are like certain areas we can improve and push for women equality, but then the 50-50 it just doesn't make sense. I do believe men and women have different roles.
Mm, mm. And I see Nana Dreams as well, saying that the role also changed when our men married into another culture. Yeah, very true. I believe this as well, because cultures are different. You might find that other cultures, as men, you're not allowed to go to the kitchen, and other cultures, they don't care whether you're in the kitchen or not, whether you do chores or not. It does, even though some places it's a matter of environment and place, but also marrying into different cultures as well. They people we are now mixing a lot, as roles have also changed. Uh, um, if you marry into a culture that doesn't do the same things that you do, maybe other cultures they expect you as a man to give them money as a man, and maybe you are coming from a culture where you need to just buy and bring the food. So those are the things that we also have to adjust to as men and women. Um,
Yes,
I
yes.
see.
Cultures do change, I believe.
Mm,
We can adapt. That shows that we can adapt to some of these things that are beneficial to us. But in the African context, it's beyond just the two individuals. We're not a nucleus family, and like we say in the West, it's a compound situation. It's a compound family. So if you get married, you know
mm,
in like a rural area, for example, it's not just about you and your husband. It's about the whole entire village. You're connected, and if that link is taken out, everyone feels it. If a man
mm,
is going out, we have nomads in Africa. We have so many different groups, and you take one link out of that, it becomes a problem for so many other people within that group of family, in that respective in their respective areas. So, but I think going down to the basics, the way we think are cognizant, I think we really have a role, even though some of us might be in denial. For instance, if you have a child today and you're looking for a babysitter, just your mindset, the last thing in your head is to look for a very muscular guy to come to your house and take care of your baby. you know Nobody's gonna take, no man is, no, even your wife is gonna kick him out. You would your mind is gonna tell, what, I need a young girl to come who's gonna babysit my child. These are things
mm.
that are universal, and we cannot, just the human minds would not alter when it comes to certain things that are structured within society. I'm sure someone will be comfortable to have a grown muscular guy come in your house and and take care of your baby. But for the most part,
Yeah,
you know it's
that's
not
that's
gonna
also
happen.
biological. Women by nature are more caring and more aggressive. Uh, it's not just cultural; it's just biologically known that women are more caring. So, by default, what you want with your kids are someone that is more caring. That is women.
Yes, I
So
agree.
yeah,
Hmm. I th- I think when it comes to such a thing. I mean, imagine advertising for a post for a babysitter, and a guy comes. I mean, I think everyone will be shocked. Like, this guy's coming for an interview. What's happening here? And I think more as an African man, you'll think this guy is crazy. What is he coming to do here? You get a culture shock, especially let's say you went to this Western world and you find such a case where a man really applies for the post. I mean, you'll be thinking this guy is crazy when you're looking at if you get the CV or the resume, and you'll be thinking, no, it can't be. I mean, but now we are living in a time where also some of the factors like the economic situation or conditions are pushing people to also do certain things that traditionally they will not do. So I'm checking,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, sure.
So I'm looking at this. Oh, look at what I can say it again. Yeah, says whose responsibility is it to breastfeed? Yeah, yeah,
We're
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about biology. I think we all should know that answer, right?
Yeah, you know. What's the cheating with the baby? Oh, look at this now. This is a controversy now. Yeah, look what Nana Dream says. Most men end up cheating with the babysitter.
And
Always
and
get
and
the old
and
ones. Wow.
this one and this one ties into the idea. This one ties into the idea of the African, you know, polygamous family. In
Mm,
most culture, you'll see men with more than one spouse.
mm,
And so it makes the picture more complicated. Now it's not even about 50-50 anymore, because that it's not about that woman and that man anymore. Now it's like more of a, because in most African culture, I don't know about South Africa, but I know in Nigeria, I'll say the whole Western Africa and North Africa, Central Africa. I can speak. I'm not sure about Eastern Africa or Southern Africa, but North Africa, West Africa, and Central Africa. The culture really, men tend to really get married to more than one spouse. Especially back in those days. Now, things are becoming, you know,
eh,
less. You don't see that a lot, but that is also still the a norm in those society. People don't look at you like, oh my God, you have more
mm.
than one spouse. So that makes the picture more complicated also. you know.
We have polygamy is as it's also even recognized can really in marriage as well. And I mean, polygamy in terms of our culture, especially us and as the Nguni people, it used to be a big thing to have a big family and or have many kids, because remember, most of the tribes, why also having a big family, one of the reason was for war purposes as well. Like, should you, when you have a big family, even if they say you'll never lack somebody to take over your surname or the family name, or even if let's say you are from the royal family, there'll always be a leader if you have a big family, unlike if you have a small family or one wife. And then should anything happens during wars and whatnot, normally that's where you lose out. And also it was also part of what do you call this, agriculture, food. Having a big family meant you have more hands to work the fields. So it was a polygamy. Sometimes the people look at it in the bad light, but there used to be the advantages and the positive of polygamy back in the days, because with a big family working the fields, you have the manpower. During wars, you have the manpower. And also, should you have a death in the family, you can still have somebody to take over from you as a father of the family. So there were many things. And also, you can't go to a polygamous relation marriages without having the finances or the wealth to carry those families. So currently there are people who practice it,
Yeah.
but you need to have money. If you're poor or you're just a normal guy working, I think you'll drown yourself.
It's not possible.
It's gonna be hard for you.
Yeah, yeah. TG in the comment section is asking, can you guys compare it with Western women lifestyle before 1960s? Um,
That's gonna be Western.
what are we comparing? What are we comparing it with?
We don't really.
Like she asked this question like twice, and I'm not really sure what we're supposed to compare it to. Is it like what we have here in Africa? Is it that?
Hmm. TG,
I
please
don't know.
elaborate on this. We might not even know much about the Western lifestyle before 1960. We don't really know much about that history, how women in the Western world were treated. But I'll assume most women used to be housewives as well. In the Western world, I think maybe before 1960. I don't know which year they started going into jobs, but I know at some point a lot of even the so-called white families used to have a lot of mothers staying at home raising the kids, and then the man will go and work in the factories or wherever, in mines, whatever is in that country.
Yeah,
Um, but can you
but
elaborate on
yeah,
that, TG? So
she's not
let's.
really. But one thing, if she's trying to compare what we have here in Africa with women before the 1960s in the Western countries, one thing
Mm,
that I do say is the women here in Africa now have it better than the women in the Western before the 1960s. Uh, I think it's around the 1960s where the second wave of the feminist movement started around the 1960s, 1970s. So the first movement that is, I think, specifically on women suffering and whatnot, that's the first
mm,
movement, and then the second one is about opportunity, equal opportunity. That's the second wave of feminism, if I'm not mistaken. So they're actually fighting to have equal opportunity. So if we're comparing that to what we have here in Africa, I do believe women here in Africa have a lot of opportunity. Maybe it's not like on par. Maybe we still have a lot to go, but
mm,
I do believe women here in Africa have it better when it comes to opportunity.
mm, mm. I think, and a lot has changed for many women. We know that it's not the whole continent. Obviously, there may be other countries where certain laws might not favor all the freedoms to do anything. But I think for the most part, many women now in Africa, they have freedom to choose to study. Freedom. It's now a human rights that
Hmm.
they need to go into education, workplaces, everywhere. Are now the doors are open for them to partake. So I think
True.
uh, compared to maybe 1960s or even even I mean in this day and age, I mean a lot of women are going to school. We are seeing a lot of women who are graduating. So there's a lot that's happening. I think going back to the feminism part as well and equality, I think the level of access now for women has opened. More doors have opened. Yes, not as much as many as maybe the numbers as we wish to, but I think in the coming generation, in the coming years, more women will be having tertiary qualifications, will have good jobs and top positions, because those are the things maybe some women are still fighting for, that I've got many qualifications, but I'm still undermined at work. They're still using more male candidates. So things like that. But I think things are slowly changing, not as fast, but as women, avail yourself. Even on such platform, TG, the more you avail yourself, the more you giving courage to other women, because we cannot be as men always be here in the platforms and talking and talking and talking, and then the women are just sitting there shy, and you need to come so that you give more confidence to other women to join. Just like when I'm here, Caleb also had the courage because he sees another man that he can talk to, then he joins. So ladies, please join as well, and let's hear your voice. Let's hear your
Yeah,
questions. You know, and I guess a lot of women
Nana
might
and
have
PJ have
questions
been
as
in
well.
the comment section for long.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, let them in. Come in.
Mm. So
Because it's better to hear from, the woman's perspective. She said we'll talk
mm,
next time.
I see that. I see that. She still wants to get the courage to come in here, but we will wait for you, TG, and I wish and I believe that you will honor your word and join us next time. And since you brought this topic, in fact, you're the reason why we're talking about this topic. And I'm sure there are many women out there who have so many questions, and you want to ask us anything. We are here as men that you really don't understand from us as men, as brothers. We can maybe try to enlighten and give you suggestions, give you tips, whether it's about dating, what you don't understand about men, certain things we can give you a light, maybe just give you hints on what to do. But yeah, please, ladies,
Yeah,
ask. There's so many men here, so many brothers here to assist you, or to maybe enlighten you, if I may use that word. So ask those
yeah.
questions. Ask those questions. It's very important.
Uh-huh. And since we're talking about equality of women,
Mm.
there's this one thing that is being presented as women rights. I just want to hear your opinion on it. Abortion being presented as women's right. I want to hear what you have to say about that.
For me, really, if I personally, I don't support it. I know there's many reasons people will put out there, especially those who are pro maybe abortion. There are those who will say, what about rape victims? What about people who are maybe financially not okay? But I believe that yes, for if the country decides to go with that, fine. But in terms of, if even if it's a right, it's somebody's right, I personally, I don't believe in doing such. I wish there could be another way, and I believe that there is another way. uh, 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 to Even though circumstances or financially people might not be well off at that point, and they feel that they don't want to carry this life to this end. But I think a lot of people come to this world into this world in not so good conditions, but they finally make it to something great. So hence I don't believe in it,
Mhm.
but I know a lot of governments there
But
because of
is it
rights and all
really a
those things.
woman's right?
Yeah, I think for women, I think some of the women can answer there. TG, you can answer us. The question was about the rights as women to abortion. Uh, what do you guys think? Or what do you ladies think about abortion and as a right? Uh, so tell us, ladies, what you think about that, and if what's your take on it? So, but from my side, as I said, Caleb, I will encourage it, but I know like, in many countries it's within your legal right to either do it or not do it. But for myself, I will not wish to, I will never encourage somebody to do that.
Yeah.
But it's just
But
obviously a personal opinion. It's not something that I'm imposing on people.
yeah. Mhm. But but then um like aren't we sort of invoking the rights of the kid? Like morally speaking, uh we're talking about another individual human being. So by giving one right to the other, we're invoking it from the baby, from the fetus. So how do you sort of see this. Like it's it's clashing in a way, and I don't really see it as women's rights, in my opinion.
Mm. It's also a very technical question, and I think some people will use the law in a way that it will be to their advantage. Somebody might say it's also still my body, it's within my right to allow what comes in my body and what stays in my body. So yeah, there's a lot of technical. That's why when you really break it down, it's not an easy question to just answer, to say this is the right of the child. So some people might say it's not a child, it's a fetus, because I know that I've seen an argument about this as well, where some people were saying this is not a life, it's still a fetus, it's nothing, whatever. To some people, we believe that life began once you conceived. That's where life began. I believe that as well. Some people might say only life comes when they see their actual child on earth. So the definition and how we understand it can
Yeah,
be a very debatable
very
one.
debatable. Yeah.
Mm. So that's why that's why I say I leave so much room so that other people, because we all don't believe in maybe the same morals. Because when we say morals, maybe we are coming from a Christian moral. Somebody might say, I don't believe in your beliefs. I don't believe in any of those beliefs. I'm whatever. I don't believe in anything, and those things don't mean anything to me. Then, what are you gonna say?
Yeah. Yeah.
So those are
Yeah.
the things that are challenging everyone within many countries. Even in my country, when they legalized abortion, I think there were a lot of movements against it. But now the constitution had to say there are people who also need to have this right as well.
hmm Yeah, I
So
see.
so
So
it's
we're
so
adapting it. Basically, it's going around Africa, right? We're
yeah.
adapting it as the right.
Exactly. So it's something that we are confronted with in many aspects. There's so many things that are happening that are as countries we are faced with, and also the pressure is mounting to recognize other people's rights as well, to be known and to be exercised.
hmm
Mm,
Yeah, it's true. I just wanted to hear your opinion on it.
And what's your opinion?
I
Since you asked.
I just I just said my opinion. I'm not for abortion. I am pro-life. I do believe the fetus is a human being, and not just from a
Exactly.
religious perspective, but
Mm,
just morally speaking. There is no evidence that shows that the fetus is not a human.
mm,
So, uh, uh, so it's just that argument is flawed in my opinion. So I am pro-life, and I do believe the kids within the womb have the right to survive.
mm. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ladies, I hope we answered to our best of our ability on this one. I see TG is really into this. Do you see what she's saying? We also asked her. She said, uh, no, she said what? The first
And
one
how
was
feminism works.
she doesn't
I
support.
don't support feminism. It it just depends on our definition of feminism. 'Cause
Exactly.
when we're talking about feminism, yeah. So if we're against the suffering of women and whatnot, that also was at once and in time the definition of feminism. Now it evolved, but that used to be the definition. So if that was the case, I think we're all feminists, right? But then right now, I think it's sort of deviated from what it's supposed to be, and uh, it pretty much killed chivalry in our lives. Right now, we can't even open doors. We're afraid, right? And they'll be like, "Hey, I can do this myself." Excuse me, you get it. So it's really hard, and it depends on our definition of feminism. Ezra, are you there?
Yeah, yes, I'm here. I'm here. I'm listening to you. I'm
Yeah.
I'm I'm listening to you, and I'm also looking at the conversation here. TG again. She said, "I think abortion, if it's right to do, I believe it affects on women's health." Wow, 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 wow. As a woman, I think you can say it better because we don't carry a life inside us. We carry seeds.
Huh?
you know.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've been listening to
It's
you guys. I was a little busy. Um, so
And I see somebody also ask Kalu says in Ethiopia is abortion is not allowed legally, but there are circumstances that allow safe abortion, like secondary sexual violence, mentally handicapped. Oh, okay, okay, yeah. For many, yeah, if yeah, such I think I understand uh where they're coming from.
yeah.
This is a
yeah,
law of the country. This is a law of the country.
so
You
this
know.
is where the idea of individualism and collectivism would come into conflict because now, you know, if you come from, let's say, the West and in a very secular society where the individual stands out and you want to get an abortion, you know, society encourages you to go ahead. But here we have a state that took the initiative to make it illegal, with few exceptions. You know, that makes it very interesting in terms of how we look at it. You know, and where are they getting their influences from? Is it culture? Is it religious? Or is it science? You know,
Mhm. Yeah. The way
I would say it's
B.
culture and religion from the African. Um,
What about just uh unbiased moral that is not attached to any religion or culture? Just believing that human beings are just supposed to live. We don't have the right to kill them, and we don't have the right to kill an innocent life. That moral opinion. What about that?
yes, that makes sense. That makes sense rationally, but I'm just looking at it from an African perspective, and you know, we have to look at these agencies that are on the ground, these forces that are influencing society to take this stance. When we look at these, we start realizing that most of these are not really coming from, you know, from the universities or the intellectual circle. They're most likely will be coming from, you know, the religious circles and the cultural norms.
Mhm. Yeah. True.
I mean, I'm not Ethiopian, but I, you know, just by my observation and few things that I've been reading, I can sense the religiosity of Ethiopia. It's a very religious state, very religious country, you know, and that would definitely make sense.
To not legalize abortion.
Yes, I think if they were to legalize it, they will be confronted by, you know, religious elders that might try to at least warn the
True.
government not to do that. You know, and that goes for many states. It goes for Saudi Arabia. It goes for Iran. It goes for even in Israel, a Jewish state. It goes for, you know, I'm
Mhm.
not sure about papal state in Rome because the Pope, you know, they tend to they're changing a lot of things there.
Yeah. Also, you're residing in the U.S., right? Some
Yes,
of the
yes.
states are pretty much going back in their abortion laws. For instance, Texas now it's 6 weeks, right? They bring it down to 6 weeks. So anything after 6 weeks, you can't abort. So like
Yes,
even in the Western countries, they're going back on their abortion policies.
yes, yes, yes. Of course, except with the Democrats, sometimes they tend to be very, very, very secular, and they tend to try to play with these weeks. You know, um, um, but yes, for the most part, if you have a conservative administration like the Republicans, they tend to be very anti-abortion.
Yeah, and when we're seeing it from history perspective, uh, Planned Parents, what was it? Planned Parenthood, right?
Yes.
It was the founder of Planned Parenthood was a white supremacist, if I'm not mistaken. You correct me. You're the one living in the U.S.
No, I don't.
It was a
Trust me,
white
I don't.
supremacist,
I don't know much about these things.
and and then pretty much uh, built these Planned Parenthood uh, to help women in the name of helping women, and then it was most of Planned Parenthood companies were located in the black community, and so a lot of abortions still this day are made by the black community. And I read the statistics a while back where it said more black people have been aborted than black people that are alive now in the U.S. So it's really scary when you're seeing it from this view.
Wow, wow, wow. You can continue, Caleb. I was just shocked what you're telling me now.
Yes.
No, I
So
was,
I sort of see that specific. I don't that specific clinic as a way to clean out black people. That's just my personal opinion because the
mm,
founder, if I'm not mistaken, was a white supremacist. I need to go back and read on it. And then she pretty much put the clinics within black communities specifically. So most till this day, most of the clinics are found in the black neighborhoods. And till this day, most of the abortions are made by the black people. So it's just raises a question in a way. And people are just saying, hey, it's my right. I'm given the right. But on the other side, pretty much killing off your people.
hmm. Wow. Let us welcome our brother. Is it our brother Alpha Tube?
Uh,
Uh,
Thank you very much. I'm from Ethiopia. I have been waiting to see you, my friend. I have been watching your videos today. Just I joined in another live video, and before we continue the today's lesson, I mean session, I would love to say thank you for your voice on African and especially Ethiopian. And I hear that you are invited. By Ibis, I think so. Uh, if it is a Swahili Nation YouTube. Anyways, thank you very much. And my name is Fantown from Bahadar. Anyways, thank you so much.
thank you for joining us. You're more than welcome, Alpha Tube. And the floor is yours, brother. Today, we have ladies that have been asking us questions as men as well. We've touched on abortion. We've touched on it was more about the equality or the roles in our homes as Africans. If we should have 50-50, does it apply to us, or does roles apply to us as Africans? I don't know if you've got an opinion regarding that.
Yeah, I could read the the title. So it's a really important title. I think as a country, as a continent, we have different cultures. We have different um, issues. But I agree that we have to have equal responsibilities for our home, for our job, and everything. Because I don't like the affirmative action for women because I feel that it it is a part of discrimination. You see, I believe that my mom is better than my dad, and I'm not better than my wife. It is because my wife can manage the home at all. She's a wise in many aspects of things at home, and my mom did lots of things at home, and she can't do what my dad does. Uh, but we have to learn things to make 50-50. Okay, otherwise we have to accept and we have to act as much as we can. For example, if we say that 50-50, there are lots of things that we cannot make things 50-50. For example, for giving care at home, even though I am able to do that, I couldn't become like my wife or like my mom, that she could give care for our children. So I should have to give priority for her. Then I have to assist other things that I can do. Okay. So what I'm thinking is we have to be willing to learn things. Otherwise, 50-50 maybe, but it may not be. This is my opinion there.
Mm. Okay. Yeah. Like on certain things, if I may ask you, Afachuba, uh, uh, in your home, or your culture, does it, the way you were brought up, does it allow you, for example, to be in the kitchen, if I may ask?
Oh, this is really very important question. In Ethiopia, the big problem is this one: women do not allow their husband to get in the kitchen. Usually, when men tries to assist women in the kitchen, some women got angry about that. On the other
Wow.
hand,
Mm.
in my home, I am lucky that we do things equally as much as possible, but it doesn't mean that we can make it things 50-50. Okay, so my wife is okay when I go to the kitchen. But in most of the time, especially in Ethiopia, most women uh, don't like their husband to go to the kitchen.
Wow, 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 wow,
Yeah,
wow.
I think that goes for the whole of the Africa also. That's what we were saying
Oh,
earlier. I said if
Mm.
your husband wife, I mean your husband mother find her son in the kitchen, most of the time it's gonna be divorce.
Can you imagine it? uh, thank you, Avajiba. And again, I see Biggie. Biggie is here today. Biggie, welcome. The voice, the
Good
chief.
morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Come the evening
good
kicking
evening,
in
according
Africa.
to Ethiopian.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm pointing out on Israel how long we're gonna stay on this call. Just I gave
uh,
you
t-
your
t- t-
warning
t-
call, last minute.
today we're not
But anyway,
sleeping, Biggie. We're doing 12 hours. I want to break the record today.
I tell
Until
you,
you
man.
sleep, I'm not gonna stop the live.
Oh my God.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh my Lord. Hey, it's good to hear everybody. I really apologize that I didn't follow much of the topic, but I got the last string of. I believe it's about equality. As uh, is the way for at the beginning of days. And men and women. They have their shared. Responsibility. Meaning maybe the men will probably go out and bring food. To you bring things to the table. Maybe on some aspect, a lot of time, especially if in the marriages, it's an agreement, a mutual agreement out of love, out of care. It depends on where you are in this part of the world, and yes, I agree. When you go to the kitchen, male goes to the kitchen. Overall, even though uh, my upbringing is that when my father was a bachelor until he get married, he did the cooking, he did all the things that he needs to do. But when he got married, now he became handicapped. Basically, by the time he comes to work, from work, food is ready, family is happy. You know what I mean? So he never got the opportunity. But once in a while, he would say, I'm going to make something different that he did during his bachelor time and teach us. In fact, teach his children. And a wife already got the taste of that bachelor taste because he invited her a couple times in his house. You know what I mean? So she knows that he can cook, he can clean, he can. He was a very clean bachelor, and I think that's one thing that she liked about my father. And besides, he had to learn to speak French because she told him, my kid's gonna be religion this way, speaking this languages and stuff like that. So, what I say is, overall, this is my personal experiences. Uh, I had a well shared, loved. I was loved. We are six in the family, and we were loved by our parents. They were maybe a little bit different because my dad worked international community, my mother worked international community, and they have international mindset, and they were open for any discussion. We can shoot any question from age wise, what you can, depending on your age, there's a certain question that comes, and you tell the younger one to exit, stay on the holding room, so they don't listen to certain part that I need to listen as advice from both parents. So overall, when it comes the this government insert or evolution, you have to have the fabric of being family. So there's a shared responsibility by both parents on what they are going to set example to their children. So the children also set example based on their experiences. So this, when it comes to single men and single women during being bachelor, and they can stay bachelor, and when it comes to the what woman roles or whatever that you can assign, you cannot put her just by her role as being a woman. She's going to be doing her work, but she's engaged also in the professional level of getting things done. So what I say is that the 50-50 part, I think it might be uh, Western mentality. Everybody shared the same thing, but at the same time, there's inequality of pay and everything else throughout the globe when it comes to women versus men's. And at the same time, that it's the women that really put us together. So we gotta have that respect at any given time to our sisters. And if you have that great respect to your mother, you might as well extend that to any uh, uh, women, girls, sisters, the same respect. And I think if I don't want it just to learn on the Western side influences, but at the same time,
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
culture that we have in Africa, that's the one I want to nurture. That's the one that,
Mhm.
because we have great respect for our mother. If you do have great
Mhm.
respect to our mothers, then the same should be extended. Whether you get married, whether your sisters, your acquaintances,
Mhm.
when it comes to, I always said it, love your sisters. They're very important. We have to show them that we support them at any given time. If they need help, that you see them, from all age group, that when you cater for women or girls, help them with the luggages, help them with heavy loads and stuff, things that we can do and helping them up and show them our care. That would be a good fabric for African. As an African, we have to really deeply love our sisters, our wives, our mothers, our aunts. You know, these are the people that's going to be the future of your children upbringing, and it can be
Biggie,
the upbringing for the rest.
Biggie, while you're still there, talking about us helping them, can you answer this question? I think it's somehow correlates to what you're saying. TG ask another question again, saying, "Do you guys think women should work 9 to 5 while pregnant in order to pay bills, while her husband is there?"
I
What's your
think
take on this?
I think it's an economy economics of the. I cannot give you a general idea, but if we can, you know, really truly want to hear my side of how the woman's supposed to be treated when she's pregnant, she should be treated like a queen. She should be
Mhm,
treated like a greatest queen, bringing a prince to this world. Because each child,
Mhm.
the,
Mhm.
if you take care of the mother, the pregnant mother, we have a brighter and better future. So if you're telling me that she must work, for me, she shouldn't. She's working already. She's working on that child. This is
Mhm. Mhm.
my
Mhm.
ultimate.
Mhm.
I would say
So
that,
so
but
Biggie,
when
let me ask
economics
you a question too
comes, you know,
before you go far. I also want to just, I want you to continue, but I don't want you to go far in because I'm listening to what you're saying and they're making so much sense. So, but two questions came up also. I just wanted to inject that in there so you can continue on. The first one is the idea of, mutual understanding. You mentioned, you know, having the husband and the wife talk. I think we touched on that earlier. You know, talking also, you know, to the wife and the husband. Once they're on the same page, then everything should be fine. But in the African context, marriage is just not between the husband and the wife. Marriage
the
is a
family.
compound thing. It's you have the mother-in-law involved, you have the uncles, you have it's the whole society. You know, so now the wife can have an opinion in how she wants to run things in the household, but then she's dealing with mother-in-law, she's dealing with uncles, she's dealing with so many extended family, and she's dealing with the cultural norms also in that society that have expectation of her in terms of being a good wife and a bad wife to their son. So that's also an issue, and I wanted to hear what you have to say about that. And I don't want to ask this. That's going to be too much, but I'll
mhm.
I'll just stay there.
And
I'll put my two
Biggie,
senses into it.
Biggie,
Okay.
before you answer this one as well, I think Alpha Tube also had something to say or ask you.
Yeah, I will. I
Then you
will.
can just
I will.
combine.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
you can ask.
I
You
will.
can
But
ask
I want.
Biggie. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say something, but let him finish because he's saying a very important point. I will say something later.
Okay, Biggie, you can continue. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you. Now we're in the context of married couple, and like you said in Africa, when you marry the wife or the husband, he married everybody. Okay. That's one thing that I really want to say to men and women that are married. Okay. First of all, when you went and married each other and you promised to each other that you're going to be
Hmm.
loving and caring till death put you apart. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Hmm.
in different way, when you get to different religion might be different, but as Christian as I am, I would say you light one candle. You have two candles coming in and lighting one candle together and to be one in spirit
Hmm.
and body. Okay. So in that
Yeah.
duly respect, okay, yes, in Africa, in our cultures, multiple cultures, my opinion through my experiences is that we always keep the door open when it comes to
Mhm.
relationship. When it comes to
Mhm.
husband and wife, they have to learn how to shut that door and discuss among themselves. Do not seek the opinion of your, including your sister, your immediate brother or mother, and which she is an in-law for your better half. So we have to learn how to respect in that frame that any discussion that comes, a mother-in-law of, especially the mother of the husband, uh, they tend to be very strong, saying, "Oh, she doesn't know how to cook. She doesn't treat my son and everything else." But uh, on the, if correct me if I'm wrong, but on the female side, it will be like, as long as she's not abused, she's not into the, hey, listen, he's your husband, he's the father of your children, he's the, and they will try to calm her down. But in contrast, what they did is they opened up a bunch of can of worm and exposed themselves in their relationship. So I would say in a marriage life, in a couple life, you have to learn how to close all doors and discuss among yourself and defend each other from anything that comes from the outside. But that, because even though you married the whole family per se because we let them in, but when you light that candle, it's to be one and to show your unity. And I would say that to the rest of the world, if you're married, you have to learn how to shut those doors of your siblings, your anything. You're responsible to each other. If you destroy that, then you don't have a marriage. Then you live in pain and you will suffer. And eventually the statistics of divorcing becomes very easy because of those um, not being able to communicate one-on-one as husband and wife without bringing someone else into your discussions. So I advise all husband and wife to keep your door tight. If they abuse your wife, you'll be hurt. If they abuse your husband, you'll be hurt. In the general sense, then you're not protecting each other. You're not showing your love to one another, because that's very fundamental to stay happy marriages is by discussing and resolving issues together. So that's what I would say for them. But like you
Great.
said, yes, do not open all doors. You can take good advices, but when it comes to certain personal relationship between husband and wife, everybody stay out of it. It's between the two to discuss. If they don't have a solution, they will seek for help together. That's what I would put
Yep.
on this.
I think you say all, my dear brother. So I am a health professional, a midwife. My connection with women, especially childbearing women, is so close, so that TG questions is very important for me. So I would love to say something about pregnancy and work before we say that whether a pregnant woman works or not. Um, I would not add more than you say, but pregnancy and works are just not as we think. Uh, Work makes a pregnant woman stronger, okay, and feel confident enough. In Ethiopia, most men do not want their wife to work after they engage, especially after they got married, especially when they get pregnant. So I would advise pregnant women to work, because work and being a pregnant mother are not contradicted, unless otherwise the work causes, okay, complication for pregnancy. So for TG question, the short answer should be no. the woman should work as much as she can. Okay, her husband should work more than her because, as you say, she is working for a new king or queen that will come healthy in the future. So even though the work is good for a pregnant woman, because of pregnancy, her immunity is suppressed. If she's not okay, eating well, but working hard, her immunity is more exposed for different diseases, so that the child in her womb that will come in the future would be affected in any ways. So the husband should work hard to become equal with her because she's working for another king or queen too. Otherwise, when we get just in one house, whether we are married or in a couple, that meaning in a friendship way. Anyways, if we think that we, the opposite sex, that we think we are loving each other, um, we have equal responsibilities for our house. Then, as a culture, as a religion, as education and different things that it makes us different, we have different ideologies, but there has to be a tolerance between two. The most weakness of us as in Ethiopian, we male usually want to become dominant over our wives. That's what I don't like. Okay, so we are working to um, uh, create or to create awareness that because women have equal right to decide what they want. For example, let me tell you that um, a family planning choice is usually dominated by the husband. Okay, many women are afraid of their husband. Okay, they say, oh, okay, let me discuss with my husband. If he do not, I mean, if he does not want to use these types of contraceptives, so I don't want. You know, it is her right to decide, but because of his dominancy, she asks his willingness. But we have to say this: no, the woman has the right to decide what she wants or not. But related to pregnancy, you already said, yes, she's queen, she has to be respected, but we don't have to keep her isolated from works. She should work as much as she can, unless otherwise it does not affect the pregnancy. We usually encourage women to exercise, to do exercise, to work hard, to have different types of activities because pregnancy creates a stress by itself. So when they are isolated and we think that, oh, you don't have to work too much because it's hard, it's very difficult. Okay, but for pie bill, the husband should take the more responsibilities. Then she can assist as much as she can. But in marriage, both we have different ideology, but we have to be tolerated each other. Unless otherwise, it's not different from any other people that we live together. Thanks so much.
Yes.
Uh,
I just want to
Thank you
ask you
very
also
much.
a couple of questions based on what you
Yeah,
mentioned, which are very
please,
beneficial.
Holger.
So how do we, as Africans, convince society, very conservative society,
Yeah,
religiously, culturally, that
yeah,
these ideas that you're mentioning are universal and are not Western ideas? Because when you tell a man not to make decisions, a man in typical African man, naturally he feels like he's in charge. Any decision that has to
no,
be, made within the family, the man has a role to play, and the woman, because of her background and where she came from and the way they groom her, she naturally would be subservient to the husband naturally, in most
mm,
cases. So, because they will counter you and saying, your ideas you're using Western ideas to usurp our African culture and heritage. You want to change society and the ways things are structured. And it becomes, now, you can't, you're going to find yourself constantly trying to explain and justify all these things that you're saying, because they come with serious implications. Because some things in society are very hard to change, especially decision making in marriages, and and all these other similar things that you might look at as men should be doing, but the culture and the religion will tell them that no, this is something that is foreign.
Um, yeah, my dear, but let's say something, Sushil. Um, if any culture is very useful, we can bring it from anywhere, whether it is a Western or African or any else. Because look, uh, a woman having many children, okay, is very risky for woman, not her husband. For example, Taj Mahal.
Mm-hmm.
Do
Yes.
you know that?
In
Taj
India.
Mahal in Las
Taj Mahal?
Vegas or in India?
No,
The
India.
original one? Oh, the original one.
India.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
India. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. When I read the book, if I'm wrong, you may correct me. The king who built that, um, the wife of that king died of the 14th child. Okay, because of birth. She was young, but she delivered 13 children. Then she died when she gave birth the 40s. The same is true for African. Every day there are over 1,800 mothers who died due to the complication caused by pregnancy and childbirth. Among these, 94% of deaths is occurred in developing country, that Africa had the most. Look, this is the most, the most women die because of PPH, that is the bleeding after birth. This bleeding is caused by atonic uterus. That atonic uterus is resulted again by a repeated birth. Look, so the husband doesn't understand this. The husband doesn't know what is going on in childbirth process. So that I have to tell him, okay, what a woman is, what a childbearing process looks like, what understanding each other means. So, we are a little bit better than our parent, that they do not know the science. So if we know the science, we have to tell the science the truth. Culture could be changed, grows, and may die. For example, in Ethiopia, in in ancient time, women are more influential than male. Look, if you see, I think if you are a Christian with a Protestant or Catholic or Orthodox, you may, whatever the religion you have, um, you may hear the Queen Sheba, okay. Although the argument that some of the scholars say that she's Yemeni, some of the others says, oh, she's Ethiopian, but we claim that she is among Ethiopian legendary queen. So there are many legendary women that they could influence their husband. For example, the King Menelik was mostly influenced by his wife. So Ethiopian husband respects their wife, of course, but the problem is that when they want to become dominant, it is because they think, okay, they are better than the woman. So as educated, okay, as educated young, as educated people, we should show the truth, okay? We should show the benefit and okay, the dangers of being dominant one over the others. Okay, it, it is
Can I interject,
because
my brother?
sorry.
Can I interject, if that's okay?
Okay, okay, please.
I've got two questions for you. In Ethiopia, are the women educated? And second question is, how come in Ethiopia, compared to Somalia, in Ethiopia, polygamy is banned?
Okay, would you repeat the second question, please?
Why is polygamy banned in Ethiopia?
I still didn't get you the second question, but the first question, I would love to answer
Polygamy.
all. The last once again.
Can you repeat the first and the second question? I'll try to answer it.
I think
I haven't lived most of my life in Ethiopia, but I might be able to answer it.
I
I think
said,
it's
are women in Ethiopia educated? And my second question was, why is polygamy banned in Ethiopia compared to Somalia? Which I find quite a bit strange.
So I'll leave the first question to him, and I'll just answer the second one. Polygamy, in my opinion, this is not in any way factual, but in the history of Ethiopia, we've been led by mostly a Christian state. So like we weren't secular till say 30, 40 years ago. So it was a state-based religion. It was religious. So it was Christianity for most of Ethiopian history, and because of that, it's embedded within our culture that polygamy is not right. It's morally wrong. So that is why it's not allowed in Ethiopia.
Why is it morally wrong? Polygamy, I feel like it's more of an African thing. Like it's natural.
Thank you so much. I would like to answer the question. The first question, totally the education coverage in Ethiopia is low, but the women or the girls are more large than boys. Yeah, most of them are not educated yet, but now there is a good improvement, but still we need to do. I think the second question is about pilgrim. Is that a religious journey?
No, he was asking about polygamy.
Having more than one wife.
Polygamy. Okay, polygamy. Okay, sorry, polygamy. Look, in Ethiopia, there are different cultures. For example, if you go to the western parts of Ethiopia, polygamy may not be prohibited, but in a Christian society, polygamy is totally prohibited, and again in a Muslim society also. I think this has to be prohibited because a polygamy has its own bad consequences. So we should not encourage that at
all. But why? But why, for example, me, I wouldn't want to have a second wife. I'm not a married man, but what if the country had a war and there's more women? There's more women than men, and the government encourages the men to marry more women. I say polygamy is only good if there's a war in the country.
Okay.
For like hypothetical questions,
look, my dear. Look, my dear. Okay. Let me interrupt you, Wes. Where did you get that data? Okay, where did you get that data? There are more women than men. Did you show me where did you get it?
No, I said in the Western world, you're gonna laugh about this. In the Western world, there's more women than men. But in parts of Africa, there's more. If you look at the sex ratio or the gender ratio, in parts of Africa, there's more men than women, and in some countries in Africa, there's more women than men. Like in Ethiopia, the gender is balanced out. In my country, there's more men than women. and I find that hard to believe. But that's what I checked. It's on Wikipedia, the worldwide gender ratio. But in the West, where I live, there's more men than women. So how does the Western world solve its problems? Should the men marry the women, or to balance it out, or should we just leave it like that? What is
Look. By the way, if we define what love and marriage is, one man can satisfy a woman other than one. One woman cannot satisfy a man other than one man. That is a natural phenomenon. It is because we have a desire. So we have to accept this. I know there are some religions that they allow such kinds of conscience, but as as a modern man and as man who thinks about what love and marriage is, okay, uh, yes, the ratio is different in a country. When you go to India, there are many male than women. When you go to Western and such, that when you go to the country where there is a war and such conscience, there may be many women than men, but naturally, okay, the sexual desire, the satisfaction, okay, the happiness that we want to have will be affected by the other. For example, if you have two wives, okay, if you have two wives, you can satisfy both of them, or if your wife has two husbands, she can't satisfy both of you. Can she, or can you do that?
if you got the if you can take care of them mentally and you have the financial capacity to take care of them?
How can you do that? Because let's say you have 3 or 4 wives, okay? Look, it is because you think that I can satisfy both of them. Okay, you may have 4 wives. Then the first week you will be from one, the other. So you have to have sex all the months. Can you do that?
You could have both the women. You could have both the women live with you in the same house.
Can you? Okay.
But
Can you have sex?
if I can
Can you do?
if I can explain some of the things about polygamy, coming from knowing more and having those backgrounds of polygamy and how it works, is and also the ratio, the gender ratio thing. We had this discussion as well, where sometimes it's not about looking at more the Western countries or so-called Western countries. You're having issues where it's the ratio sometimes tends to be more besides the numbers. When you remove the numbers, you still have a lot of men who, I mean, more women who are maybe single, because in the Western world you have men who are gays, for example. So which means there is already an imbalance in terms of female getting a male partners, right? And then you have male that are in prison, mostly in the Western world. So those numbers also, even in so-called countries where there's maybe almost 50-50, you still the ratio will never fully balance, because you have more male who are in prison, you have more males who are more gays than lesbians.
But do you know what the cause of it is?
So
It's because of education and feminism, and there's an agenda to make Africa look like the West. The problems that they are having, that's the clear dangers. If you live in a Western society where it may be the UK, France, America, they have all these problems that women have difficulties in finding a man. You have to look at also the laws of the land. Like if you are a man and you own a £250,000 house with no mortgage, and you marry a woman and she cheats on you, there's a 90% chance she'll initiate the divorce, and you could lose your house. Not only losing your house, but your assets and children. You have to pay child support. You have to pay spousal support. That's the dangers. and you have to look at the laws. That's not favorable to men. I just would like to add, my brothers.
So as I was explaining, those are the some of the issues that are affecting the ratio man to female ratio. Besides the actual numbers, where you're saying, oh no, we've got 52% male and 48% female. So when you now break it down in terms of now everyone gets a partner, that's where you will have skewed. The numbers will still more tilt more to the females. Will be more females who still don't have partners than the male species, for example. So that's some of the question. Western world, even in Africa, I mean, wars also are affecting, as you already mentioned, Dr. R, about wars. What should a war happen in a country? What do you do? So those are some of the things that really affect many countries. And so, but going back to the topic, guys, let's not really go. I don't want us to be sidetracked so much into other things like this. And I'm just gonna welcome Mo to come in and join us.
Thank
He's been
you.
on
Thank,
and
thank you, my
off.
brothers.
How are you, Mo?
Good, good. I have just, if anyone here from Tanzania, if anyone knows Hill Paul and his sister, I read the address. You guys talking about husband and wife. I am fallen in love on Kill Paul's sister. So even she's under 18, I will wait another 18 years.
Mo, we lost you there. What? Can you repeat that, please? You are so fast. Mo, can you repeat that, please? Can you hear us, Mo?
He sounds very interesting, but I would love him to repeat what he just said.
we just really want to hear you again, Mo. Can you please repeat?
Okay, just give me a second.
You're listening, Mo.
I just encouraged by your topic because someone is asking why I have more wife. But of course I have wife. Now I see on TikTok Tanzanian girl. It is Kill Paul sister. But I think she's Masai. I fall in love. Maybe she's under 18, but I can wait. I need someone Tanzania give me the address and to
Okay. He's seeking. He's looking for a second wife.
Wow. Wow.
I know. I think I saw it too with the girl and the guy doing the Ethiopian dance.
Oh my God, she's like amazing.
She has no bones. Yeah, she was boneless.
I heard you, Mo, but I was like, are you really serious, Mo?
But before I see their video, I was practicing at home. Like I see from Kenya and Tanzania, Maasai tribe. We always open TV and they're very enjoying. I joking with my wife. I think I need another Maasai girl. She say, "Okay, you can go with the cow."
You should not joke like that, eh? You'll not eat, eh? One time you'll not cook for you.
Oh, you should never take her seriously. It's a trap. Don't go for it. But when I get a chance, anyway, I will visit Tanzania.
Mo, you are really serious about getting another one, eh?
Yeah, but thank you. I just want to say this. Have a good time. I don't have anything to say. This is just for fun.
No, Mo. I've got a question.
Okay.
There was a question asked by TG. She's the one who started this thing about relationships and abortions and all those things. There was a question whether a wife should work when she's pregnant. I'm just gonna show the question here on the screen. Where is that question now?
Generally, the question was about if a woman is pregnant and is she
Yeah,
expected to work hard to pay the bill? I think such like that.
yeah.
Oh,
That's the question. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mo.
Yeah.
You see the
Translate
question there on the screen.
translate for me. I think አማርኛ ተናጋሪ እዚህ አለ።
Alpha Tube,
Okay.
can you
አለው
translate for him, bro?
እሺ
እሺ
እሺ ምንድነው እያለች ያለችው? ነፍሰ ጡር እናት ብትሆን ባሏ እዛ እያለ እሷ ብዙ መስራት ይጠበቅባታል ወይ ነው ጥያቄዋ።
አይጠበቅባትም ግን she don't have to work a lot. He have to support her, but independent of the man. It's not. Of course, long time ago, maybe people not supporting their wife, but now everything is changed. But independent the way what he work or the thing. For example, I support my wife as possible I can. She don't have to work everything. That means she need move for her health, but not all responsible for her. If he not do nothing, he have to do everything. If that is the question, I don't know. I mean, yeah, if she pregnant, she don't have to do by herself everything.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Mo. But those jokes will get you in trouble one time, with your wife.
Okay. Dear host, I have one important question for the team that it may be answered for that I already said. Let's say your wife refused to continue the pregnancy, so she wants us to terminate that. Do you allow that to do? This question is for all of you.
Me, no.
She's a pregnant, so she decided to terminate that pregnancy because she doesn't want. So would you allow that? Why? Don't you allow that? Why?
It depends on the situation, my brother. If the woman is ill or there's an illness or she's gonna die, she can terminate it if her life is going to be at risk. If there's a health problem.
That's exactly.
Or if there's something wrong with the child.
What if it's not a health problem?
If it's not a health problem, like, what's the reason? Has the wife cheated?
She just want to take it out.
She just wants to take it out. But what woman? I want to ask this question to the women on the panel who are listening.
By the way,
let's clear the
question.
Baby?
Okay, wait a minute. Let me make clear the question. She doesn't have a health problem, but the only thing that she doesn't want the pregnancy to continue, so that she wants us to terminate that. No health problem at all. The only thing is that she thinks that, okay, she doesn't want to continue that pregnancy by any means. This is the question.
If she don't want to pregnant, she don't have to sleep with me. Otherwise, after she carrying my baby, she can't taken out. So I will not allow her.
Okay, all I'm gonna say is haram, haram, haram.
Yeah. see now it becomes, with the feminist movement, this is what they're fighting men for, because now it becomes about the selfish interests of the men. Because it's all about the individual. It's to the feminist movement, it's two individuals coming together. So at the end of the day, the most important factor in your marriage is your individuality. That never goes away. And for us in Africa, it's a different setting. And this is why because now to answer that, for me, if I'm going to use it for religious and cultural reason, now for the women, this is beyond me and her, because I'm going to take myself out of this, and I'm going to take her out of it also. And I'm going to let her know that this is beyond, this is above me and you. Now this is about ethical things, this is about religious things, and this is about cultural things. Now that might help
and moral
protect
things.
Exactly, and moral things.
But
in
Africa, since there's 54 countries in Africa, if that woman had the reasons for wanting to terminate her pregnancies, I don't want to say this for stupid reasons, she doesn't want to, even though there's nothing wrong with the child. In Africa, because Africa is very religious, would a doctor in Africa perform that abortion? Because in my country, Somalia, they would not perform it. I've never heard of in my life an abortion ever being performed in my country. They wouldn't perform it because they would say that woman is selfish.
I think
But
I just
the
And
think
no
numbers.
doctor would
For one
perform it.
exception,
It doesn't matter.
if your money is right, you don't forget we are also a very poor continent. If your money is
Mm,
right, trust me, you can go to any country in Africa and get an abortion. I don't care
mm,
how religious.
mm.
no.
uh,
I
uh, uh,
understand,
uh,
but I've never in my life, in my 29 years being on this planet, I've never heard of a doctor in Somalia, where I'm from, performing the abortion. If you were to offer him money, he would say no. Like,
No, because
if
of the
there's
fear
nothing.
factor, because of what we know from the surface. But in reality, we don't know what's going on. The fear factor, no doctor is going to come to you and tell you they're doing abortion in a very conservative country like Somalia. They fear for their
Mm,
life. But
mm,
that's what me and you would know from the surface. But trust me, there's so many things
mhm.
going on underneath. There's prostitution in Saudi Arabia. I mean, people are doing
mhm,
drugs, they're
mhm,
drinking
mhm,
alcohol. So I mean, there's
mhm,
there's
mhm,
there's there's no
mhm,
there's always exception
mhm,
in all these countries.
mm,
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 mm. And also, Alpha Tube, I think, was it you who said something about sometimes it may be performed only when there's maybe a sexual violence that was maybe rape, if I may use that word. Uh, then somebody
That's a tough one.
that's I think
Yeah,
it's only
that's the
allowed in
policy
that
in
case, right?
Ethiopia.
In Ethiopia, right?
Yeah, in Ethiopia, it's like, yeah,
I will
sexual
tell you
rape cases.
what the declaration says in Ethiopia, but my question is a very general and burning issue because there are about 50 million abortion committed every year. About 60% takes place in Asia. The other nearly over 30% in Africa, where we are living, that the religious and the cultural enriched population. Uh, Most of the abortion is committed in illegal that could make terminate her life forever. So my question is that uh, I was asked how to create awareness over health issues. So my question is generally to to give you a clue between the marriage, okay, because a marriage is not just led by one individual, it's the decisions of the two. So if you decide that you want to go to scholar but you can't take her, I mean you can't take her with you, then finally she allows you to go, but at the same time when she wants to have terminations of pregnancy because she's not ready to give care for that pregnancy because it may be the failure of contraceptive or any other issue. At the same time, you don't want to allow her. So how marriage could continue in such conditions? This is just to make a discussion. In Ethiopian context, abortion could be allowed in some contexts. One, if it's a rape. Uh, Two, if it's incest from the family, okay, from the family. Three, if the pregnancy is anomaly or a congenital anomaly that would not survive after birth. Four, if the woman is not really mentally, for example, if she's below 18 years old and that she's not able to care for the baby that will be born, um, in such conditions, safe abortion is allowed. Okay, uh, but if a woman say that I am raped, she's not expected to bring the witness. The only word that she says is accepted. So your wife may go to the clinic, then she would say, "Oh, I am raped." Then she would have that abortion. Then she would come to you, say, "Oh, just I got a bleeding. Oh, this abortion happened. What can I do?" Then you would cry together with her. Okay, so we have to think more.
Mm. If you wanna hear my answer, Alpha Tube, I will say that I will not allow it. That's personal as well. This is a personal answer. I'm not now trying to give you a political answer, but personally, I will not allow her to do it. I will not approve of it. But
Mm,
if she goes ahead and go and do it without my blessings or my approval, then it's something that is out of my hands. But personally, I will say I would rather work and do some extra work just to make sure that we can support that additional baby than to say she can go ahead and do that.
So would you
Hmm.
accept? Would you be content with that idea that she refused to consult with you and just went ahead and did it based on her
Uh,
individuality,
yeah,
or
the
are you
answer,
gonna
I think,
compromise?
I expect that the answer from you, such I would have to ask her why she wants to terminate the pregnancy. This is the most important answer. Okay, the answer must be this. Then discussion will bring change, because I'm talking things based on the context of Ethiopia. When things happened, usually discussion is not made between husband and wife. So I would have to ask her why she wants to terminate pregnancy. Then I need to listen her intention why she made. Then I would ask her to give me time again why I don't want to allow her to have that abortion because of this. Finally, I would leave the decision for her, because even I do not allow and prohibit her, she would go secretly and then commit that abortion and come back to me with bleeding. Okay, that is very dangerous. But as you said, okay, as long as I want the baby, I don't want to allow her, but I should respect her decision. When I respect her decision, she would respect also my decision. Then we would have a room to give care for that pregnancy to continue and to have the baby. I think that is a good idea.
Yes.
Okay, discussion.
I
Yeah.
I don't fully agree with what you said, because it's not about you or your wife at the end of the day. It doesn't matter what you feel. It doesn't matter if you need the kid or not. It doesn't matter if your wife needs the kid or not. You don't decide, in my opinion. We shouldn't be the ones deciding whether the fetus should be alive or not. All right, as a human being, we are not. We shouldn't be the ones. We shouldn't play God, basically. We shouldn't be like, hey, I'm not feeling comfortable with this pregnancy, so I should just get rid of it. No. So no matter what she has in her mind, in my opinion, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, we're talking about killing. We're talking about killing. So it doesn't really matter as long as it's not a health issue, in my opinion. It's just, it doesn't matter. Anything beyond that, it just doesn't matter, because we're talking about killing. We're talking about murder, basically.
Yeah.
So, no,
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what she thinks.
but this is where contention comes in between us in Africa and also in Western ideas, because like I was just saying, individuality is very important in the West. The person itself,
Hmm.
that's beyond even God. So when you say it's against God, some people will just laugh at you.
No, I didn't say
You
it's
know?
against God. I said it's playing God.
Yes,
I'm not.
it's
I'm not
playing God.
bringing
Yeah,
religion into it.
yeah. What I'm saying is, we tend to be very
Introducing
conservative
Western
because
ideas to Africa is
yes,
detrimental.
our inspiration, mine's also comes from religion and culture. But you know, when you go outside and you see the way people are thinking, outside of Africa, especially in the West, it's all about the individual, and they have the right to do these things. And for most, especially the young women, they're not doing. They just don't want to have that child because they cannot, it's going to keep them down for so long, and they're going to be missing out on this lively world, like stuff that they want to do, like going to nightclub
Hmm.
is going to stop for a while,
Yeah,
being all these good things, even having a
I get
child.
that point. I get that point. Yeah, I get that point. But the thing is, you go into a club, right? Just just because you want to go to the club, you shouldn't kill the baby. That's the point I'm trying to
Yes,
make.
and I agree with you,
You
and I,
you've
I
already.
agree with you. I agree with you, trust me. It's just, we also have to look at the other side and how much we are willing to accept these ideas that are coming from outside. That goes back to the idea of how much what are we going to filter out that is not conducive
Okay,
to our
let
culture.
me ask you one question again. The other question. Okay, you have 5 children. Okay, you have 5 children, and economically you are not able to support these children, then you decided to stop having another children. Then your wife say, oh, God knows everything, so I don't want to have any types of contraceptive. Then you decided to have a vasectomy that you can have. Okay, then when you decided to have a vasectomy but she refuses you, would you have a vasectomy, or would you stop for her consent?
Now, this
Hey,
specifically, like
that's tough,
this.
huh?
Oh, go on, Isra. Go on, Isra.
Uh, uh, no, Caleb. All I was just saying. Maybe I was thinking out loud. I think Alpha Tube, since you're in the medical fraternity, um, many African men. It's also one question that we can ask: are African men willing to go through vasectomy? That's just a question on its own, because I doubt many African men will
Yeah,
allow vasectomy on them. But I don't know. Maybe some will are willing to go through it. But
I, yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
I
think
agree.
that's
I
a
agree with
personal choice.
you. I agree
That's
with
a
you.
personal
Most of
choice.
them are, even they reject the decision made by their wives, so that most of them do not want to have a contraceptive. But let us think that you decided, okay? Because you thought things are beyond you, okay? Finally, you decided to have that vasectomy, but she refuses you. Finally, what would you do? That's the question in the reverse way. It is because your
Okay.
title is the most important. Okay, you said that should we have share responsibilities 50-50, or okay, this is a part of that. Then if you decide to have a vasectomy and she refuses you, then would you do it or stop because by respecting her?
yeah, I think if I was put into that uh, or the question was raised to me or asked to do it, I won't do it. I don't believe in it. I don't feel. First of all, I don't feel comfortable anything
Yeah.
there as on my privates. I don't feel anything. I'm very sensitive there for somebody to
Okay.
be tampering there. I don't want to use words for this. I think we leave it to you, the medical field. You can name the body parts, but
Oh
for
yeah.
me,
No,
I don't feel
no problem.
comfortable. I doubt
Yeah.
any African man. That's why a lot of African men. That's why with you should know better with prostate cancer, for example, how a lot
Yeah.
of men might even have issues, but not go to the doctors and think, no, I'll heal. I'll try to drink things here at home and I'll be fine. But you find that this cancer is spreading and it ends up killing them, because one of those things is many men are not comfortable coming up, especially when it comes to anything to do with their private, especially in Africa as well. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I'll leave it
I
to you
think
there. But
we
for me, I
I
won't.
think we are. Yes, dear. I think we are losing our the other friends, and for the one who is now with this, I have another more question about polygamy.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, Look, your wife wants another husband.
Mm.
Okay, you love her too much. You don't want to share her with someone, but at the same time, she wants another husband. So, are you comfortable to do that? To allow her to another husband
Is that a
for both of
question
you,
for me?
if she
All
wants another
right.
husband?
I'll try to answer. I see marriage differently. I do. Actually, I see marriage as the traditional way. I do believe marriage is between one man and another woman. I do believe marriage
Yeah.
is becoming one. So,
Mm,
so before I get into marriage, like I'm very selective. I need to really be in a long relationship where I know that person.
yeah.
There are deeper roots. So if she ever had that kind of idea, like I don't think I'll go through with the marriage. So in my opinion,
Thank
I
you.
I just believe one
I
man,
still
one
agree
woman in
with
a
you, sir.
relationship.
I strongly
So
agree
she
with you.
so
Yeah. Yeah,
uh, right
this
input
question
and
was,
your
yeah,
input.
yeah. I agree with you. I don't feel so comfort. Even though polygamy is allowed, I do not feel comfort when my wife share another husband. So for someone who was supposing to have a polygamy, if he can satisfy both or all of them, but I personally do not feel comfortable when my wife share another husband. So I agree with you. This
Yes,
is what I
yes. For that one, I I tend to look at also the this how sensitive these things are from the from African perspective. Because when you look
yeah.
at it religiously, there's people who are in that kind of situation with multiple wives, two, three wives, and then when you look at it culturally, even in Africa culturally, there are people also who forever they've been doing polygamous, and also religiously. When you look at the Old Testament, you look at the story of Solomon. You look at even
Yeah.
Moses and all these things. The default, the what we know about marriage when it comes to the sexes, from even in the Bible, we see that God always identified the men for having multiple wives and not the women. Some things are just like that, human nature. So the whole idea about a man trying to be a woman, and forcing himself and say, what if I feel I want to be a woman? And we see a lot of cases like that. I was just mentioning a breaking news last week where a guy just decided he was a swimmer in the men's club at the University of
Hmm.
Pennsylvania. You can Google it, you'll see it. And all of a
Hmm.
sudden he just said he's a woman now, despite the fact
Hmm.
that he's muscular, he's got Adam apples, he's got beer. He said he's a woman from
Yeah.
the inside. And so they accepted that. And guess what? He was swimming with the woman, and he's
Hmm.
breaking all the records. All the
Hmm.
records. I'm talking about 100 years of record. He's breaking everything because some things
Hmm.
really are just by nature. The men, our physique, the way we're structured, the way we're built, the masculinity, these things are there by nature.
Yeah.
So I think with that issue, I think it comes really the references. If even if you look at the Bible, we see that God always reference when it comes to multiple wives. We've never heard any woman getting two husband. So I think some things in
Uh,
the world, they just by nature, just the way it is. But we do have people that are trying to fight these things in this modern times.
um,
Yeah, and you know what is it called when a woman has more than one? It's called polyandry, not polygamy. Polygamy it's the
polyandry.
men, yeah, but it's called
Yeah.
polyandry. I'm just gonna send it
Thank you. But I think it's not just a correction, but about the reference from the Holy Bible. I think Solomon having many wives was not supported by God. Abraham having two wives was not supported by God, but it was ignored. Okay, then we should not say that it's allowed. It has been allowed for male, not for female. But we have one brain. Okay, we are given one brain that feels things. Okay, so whether we say a polyandry or polygamy, we are created one for one. Okay, if we satisfy the one we have, that is the most precious things on earth that we can do, and that's the most satisfactory uh, things that we can do. Okay, so even though we are allowed to have many wives or many husbands, naturally, as a science man, okay, um, as a midwife, the anatomy and physiology, I should not support any woman to have another man other than her husband, and a man to have any other woman other than his wife, because even if he thinks that he can satisfy both or all of them, in practice that is impossible, because sexual desire is led by the brain that is given naturally. So he may give money, He may build a very beautiful house. He may let them live in a very comfortable situation at home, but he would not be able to satisfy them sexually. If he does not do that, he is not satisfying them at all. So no polygamy, no polyandry at all is supported.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow. Wow.
I think what you're saying makes sense, but for me, I think coming from that environment is more natural to see a man into that kind of situation than to see a woman in that kind of situation. It's just when you even society in the West, when a woman sleeps with so many men, she's just considered a prostitute. When a man has a lot of girlfriend, he's considered to be a player. This is just how society is structured. You don't really see women get into these
Yeah.
kind of these sexual activities with multiple men at the same time.
Mm.
It's just when you look at the idea of infidelity in the West, I think in the United States they said 49% of men. It's been a while since I checked. Of men, confess
Oh,
to having infidelity with being with another woman in their marital lifespan. Which is also
mm.
very, very interesting.
Hmm.
And I'm
Wow,
sure
man.
in Africa, if we were to do that testing, that data in Africa, it's gonna be
It's
the shock of
definitely
the
there.
world.
I think if you had to start something like that in Africa, they'll probably shut you down quickly, you know.
Yes, because women are vulnerable in porous environment. When people are poor, we don't have really
Mm,
much on the continent. And unfortunately, the women they're very, very, very vulnerable. They become very vulnerable, and men are very evil.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
They're very, very
Mm.
evil, and they
Yeah.
capitalize on these things. A little bit of money, you take advantage of an innocent person. So we see a lot of those going on, and we're talking about married men. So we see the same thing going on. Even if they're married, they're still doing um these things, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think like those
Uh,
people who want to be, um, those people want to be in a polygamy relationship. I think they should have the right to do so. It's just that like individually, the, if they're both against it, I think it's just fine to say it's better to be in a monogamous relationship. But then I'm not against people choosing polygamy. I don't think um, it should be illegal. I don't think it should be illegal from a government perspective as well.
Okay. I just okay. What's his name? Ezra.
yeah,
If you
yeah,
can
bro.
just Google up my president, just put Gambian president with his wives. I mean, this is the head of my country with two wives.
I know.
So I'm coming from a society where to see a man over 50 and not have a second wife is just so you don't really see much of it. You don't really see much of it. I mean, I'm talking about the president of the guy who leads the country is he walks around with his two wives. So it's just society. You go to Nigeria, same thing. You go to
Mm,
Mali, same thing. You go to Mauritania, all these countries, predominantly Muslim countries, you would find.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
yeah, 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 yeah. Even in Ethiopia, there are many tribes that have such kinds of things. Even in some tribes of Ethiopia, for example, if you have a brother, okay, and both of you have a wife, but finally your brother dies, okay, then you would marry her. Look, your wife would be subject. I mean, your brother wife would be subjected to you, and then you will be responsible for the whole family again. And in some parts of east parts of Ethiopia, there were a very bad culture. Okay, uh, before getting a marriage, young girls would have a boyfriend. They may practice kissing, but they are not allowed to have sex. So they have been kissing for months or years. Finally, her virginity is expected to be given for her husband, then her family would give her for another man. Finally, after she get married, okay, the one who has been kissing her has a chance to have sex after getting married. Look, that was contributing too much for HIV, AIDS, and STI. Then, after tremendous awareness creation was made, nowadays it is being changed. It is common, but what I'm saying is, in practice, look, your president has two wives, of course, and higher officials may have a wife, and uh, may have another that we don't know. Okay, so the second wife or the first wife, both of them are not satisfied yet, but there is one thing that led them to live together. Okay, one of the two maybe legal wife, the other maybe because of the influence of the husband. This is what we have been discussing too much. A marriage is the union of two that they can decide for the life together. If one is influencing the other, we can't say that this is not a marriage at all. If we are not deciding equally, we can't share responsibilities equally. Okay? We can't share responsibilities equally. If we cannot share responsibilities equally, we can't say that we are getting married at all, but we live together. This is all about my thinking, guys.
Mm. Wow. Alpha Tube, but just please drop your email there.
Okay,
That's something I also want to discuss with you.
thank you so much. I will put it.
Mm. So we'll check. Yeah, there's something that that I'll love you to come and teach us. Yeah, if you are available, especially something to do with midwife and uh, I mean, how things like how to treat our pregnant women, our pregnant wives, and uh, uh, um, and how to do it right, and how to make sure that it is a good experience for them and make it easy for them. So I think a lot of men can learn so many things, because I think sometimes they just think women are so emotional when they are pregnant. They all just want to run away from them sometimes, you know.
Oh yeah, it's really
So
my
maybe,
pleasure. It's really my pleasure to give such kind of education, reproductive health, pregnancy, childbirth, nursing, and so on. I can, I can do it. I am so willing to do that, dear. We can have program.
yeah, yeah, we can have a program. I'll drop an email, and then
Yeah,
we
I
can
put it.
talk about when you can just give us your timetable and say I'm available on this day, and then we can come in, and you can come and have sort of a presentation, or just have a discussion, and people can come in and ask questions, and I think it'll really help a lot of people and a lot of men as well, and even some ladies. There might be things that
Yeah,
they take for granted that can really help
yeah.
them as well. So yeah, but I will drop an email to you, and then we'll take it from there.
Thanks so much. I think it- until Tuesday this week, from 10 p.m. Okay, from 10 p.m. onwards, I am available at home. But
10 p.m. From
from
when?
uh, just from 10 p.m.
Hmm.
to 1 a.m. From 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. For the next 5 day. I mean 5 or 6 days until Thursday. But
Okay.
Thursday I will go to the place where war is taking place for giving care for victims of war. So I will be there for 1 month. Internet will not be available, so I would not give you a promise then. But when I came back in January, then I will tell you when I'm available. But for the time being, until Thursday, I'm really willing to give any types of session.
Okay. Let's do it. Can we try Tuesday, this Tuesday? Just check your timetable, and then
Tuesday, okay.
yeah, check your diary, whether you are fully available between 10 p.m. to 1 a.m., right?
10 p.m. Yeah,
Yeah.
10 p.m. to
So
1 a.m. Yeah.
yeah, so we can maybe have a, yeah, just check your diary, and then I'll send you an email, and then you can just confirm whether it's fine on Tuesday that we do the program.
Thanks so much. Thank you. I will do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Okay.
thank you so much, Alpha Tube. Um, and my brother Caleb. Caleb, is there something that you also want to add here to what our Alpha Tube has been teaching us? Caleb, I think Caleb might be muted. Biggie.
Mm.
Sorry about that. For some reason, I just got one call. Never been able to get back. I'm just making some bread. Put it that way.
No,
I had to.
no.
I have to put out some fire. So they got me right after I talk. So I'm glad. I hope I made some sense on what I said. You know, earlier. And I know you probably went further more in the discussion, but I apologize. I
Mm.
really apologize.
You
Just
no,
give me
no, no,
the right.
no problem. I will be closing the program very soon.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't know if you've got any closing statement, Alpha Tube, from your side regarding some of the topics that we touched based on. Maybe in 2 minutes,
I think
just something in summary.
yeah, thanks so much. You raised a very most important question because it touches everybody of us, okay? We are the part of that. So I'm really grateful to be part of this. We have all the things. One thing that I want to underline is that we need to respect and we have to be governed by the culture we have as an African. But at the same time, if we get it as important, we can bring from the Western. So today's discussion was very, very important. Finally,
Mm.
the role and responsibilities has to be determined based on the ability we have. Our women have to open their kitchen for us, and women have to try to support them in anything they need. Okay, because when we, giving a flower by itself is not an enough issue. Okay, we have to practice the life we live. This is my summary. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Alpha Tube. And Caleb, in closing from your side.
Before Kayla, I would say something. I mean, keep up the discussion. I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. But fortunately, I just got a couple things to bread that I had to make. So I'm on the emergency call right now. So trying to get this thing resolved. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Sorry, I missed most of it. I want to
Uh,
apologize.
Biggie, you're
No problem.
always here in spirit, and always come in. We always appreciate the voice, and the advice from the chief. You know.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, Ezra. Close early, okay? Today's Saturday. Get ready for Sunday. It's already
Yeah.
probably Sunday now. Coming. It is
Yeah.
Sunday.
Oh yeah, a minute away from Sunday, so yeah, that's how I'm closing.
Oh, just 1 hour in Ethiopia, 1 hour past in Ethiopia.
Yeah, you're already Sunday. I'm about to go to Sunday.
Yes.
And you know what time is Biggie? I think it's 3 p.m. now. They're in the States.
No, 5:02. 5:02.
5:02. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
PM.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
We're getting close.
Yeah.
Thank
Caleb
you
in
guys,
closing.
Caleb. Thank you. I appreciate that. And really, really putting a voice out there. I missed this topic. It has a lot that I would have said and I would have add. But one thing in conclusion, husband and wife, keep your doors closed, discuss your issues together, love one another, flourish
yeah.
together. You raising kids, give them all the love you got. They
Oh,
are
yeah.
the future. Thank you so much.
Great.
Have
Thank
a
you
good
so
night.
much.
Keep
Thank
in
you.
touch.
All right,
Thank
I
you.
will.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you very much. Caleb in
Uh,
closing from your side.
yeah, I just want to say, Alpha 2, thank you for your input. It was really good to hear from a professional standpoint. I also want to say thank you for your service. I think I heard you say you're about to go to battlefront to serve in your profession. So thank you for your service. And in our topic, I just want to say, us Africans, we need to evolve culturally, and we need to work on pushing equal opportunity for women. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And thank you very much, Ezra, for hosting this. It was really great. I hope seeing you again. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Caleb. I will be having another program somewhere this week. I'll also just ask Meek about it. That we have Alpha Tube back here to just give us more info and just guide us in terms of because he's in the medical fraternity. He can just advise us on many things, especially more about pregnancy, things like that, of that nature. So I will ask him to come back. And I see. So yeah, please, family, join us probably this Tuesday. I'm praying that it happens this Tuesday. Then we can learn something in the medical field and apply it in our own lives, and things to look out for as well. So we need to learn as many things. It's not just about politics, as I always say. There's so much that we need
Yeah,
to learn, and
definitely. Um,
health is one of them.
yeah. May I say one thing, please? May I say one thing?
Please, please.
I think
Mm.
for our participant to get ready, let us decide the title that we can discuss, because they can refer, they can read, so that they can understand, as it is helpful to ask questions because they know, and I can make clear for them. So not to be confused, it's better to read as much they can. So the next the discussion would be danger sign during pregnancies. Okay, danger signs during pregnancies. I think that would be
Uh,
better
the,
for
the
our
the
discussion.
the what signs? Signs what for before? Bro?
Danger sign. I will write on the
Okay.
message. Danger
Yeah,
danger
just
sign
write on the
during pregnancy.
on the private chat. Then I'll just
Yeah,
also just share it with the team, with everyone.
yeah,
Can, can just write it there in the private chat, and then I'll put
yeah.
it
I'm
on the
writing.
comments,
Yeah,
and then I'll also put it as the topic that's still coming, and then we can discuss it afterwards.
yeah. Here it is.
Mhm.
Someone already put it in the chat, in the comment.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, yeah, I see, I see. Oh, Marie Antoinette, she's quick. She's quick. I see. Marie Antoinette.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
She's quick.
yeah.
But yeah, so I'll see you guys again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See
Caleb.
you on Tuesday. Bye bye for today. It's It has been very most important day for me. Thank you, my African brothers. God bless you.
You too.
Thank you, thank you. God bless you too, and God be with you on your missions. But that will also, for now, we're still saying, declaring blessings for you as you are going into service, where you'll be deployed. We pray that you'll have the strength. I know it's a lot of work where you're going. We pray for
Yeah.
strength. We pray for peace. We pray that uh, every resource that you guys, your team and whoever you'll be working with, you'll have every resource so that your work can become easy for you. And
Thank
may
you.
you help those people, because I know it's a big calling being deployed,
Yeah.
especially helping people. It's a big calling, and God be with you in that calling, and as you are helping the people there, it means a lot. You are an essential worker, and we salute you. I know Mika will
Salute,
do
brother.
this. We salute you.
Thank you. Thank you. See you. I miss you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you, family. Thank you for tonight. It's been a great night that we were here and discussed so many things. Health being one of them, and hopefully Tuesday or Wednesday, but I'm praying for Tuesday. We're gonna have a topic about the danger signs during pregnancy. Our our health expert will come in. Alpha Tube will come and teach us about things to look out for, and things to avoid, and things to do during that time. And again, I would love to thank a lot of people that helped us and brought this topic. And I want to just thank TG, our sister TG. She's the one that brought these topics tonight, and our sister Sarah Tesema as well, and Marie Antoinette. I want to thank you, ladies, and Nana Dreams as well. There in Ghana. Thank you very much for the topics tonight. I think the ladies really came through tonight, and they really brought important topics that we were discussing tonight. And really thank you, Sarah Tesema, Nana Dreams, Marie Antoinette. Just gonna thank you, Nana Dreams, thank you, Marie Antoinette. Thank you, Sarah Tesema. Um, and TG, thank you very much. Yeah, the reason we had so many topics, there was a lot of topics, and I think our brother and our health professional, Alpha Tube, um, really came through for this topic, especially the one about the pregnancy and the health stuff. If it wasn't for you, TG, we wouldn't get a health expert to come and explain this. So thank you very much, TG. And I'll also thank Martha Bekele as well. Thank you, ladies, for really coming out tonight. You really came in, and thank everyone who also contributed. There's a lot of people that contributed as well. Um, uh, Pi International, Mr. Ghost, thank you for these are our members. Thank you for the membership. Ghost and Pi International family. Please subscribe, like, share, and also become a member of our channel. And also um, become our patron member. Join the patron membership as well. Um, so support this channel in whatever way possible, and this Africans supporting their own content and supporting their own products. So that's how we grow. We need to grow here in our homes first before we can try to grow other nations. So thank you very much for tonight. It was great being here, and it was nice to really just have a light conversation, because sometimes with politics we people, so it was nice having a light conversation and learning something that we hardly talk about, which is health. And health is very important. It's one topic that I'm also passionate about, and I would love us to all live a healthy lifestyle and learn so much about how to take good care of ourselves and the people that we live with. So we will have more conversations regarding health as well. For those who's really passionate about this, it will really be a great conversation to have. So avail yourself. Click on the notification icon so that when this conversation start, you can start with them and you can get notified. um what else am I leaving behind? But just want to thank everyone that came tonight. Regmon Music, thank you, thank you, thank you. Grace, peace, and blessing, thank you very much. Um, thank you, Aboyak. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I know you always on the comment section as well. I acknowledge you. And Achul, Ajak, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your comment, for your contributions tonight. Yeah, family. And yeah, join our membership. Click on that link below and join the membership. And there's also different categories where you can join depending on the plan that you can afford. And also the patron as well. You can click on that link and become a patron member as well. And that's it for tonight from my side, and the rest of the team. We really thank you for your support, and thank you for your continuous support, and thank you for those who are joining us. Welcome to the family. Continue being here with us. Continue being contributors in any way, in any form. And we love you. And I know Mika really loves you, and he misses you guys. And he will be back very soon, very soon, very soon, very soon to be with you. And and keep on praying for him, pray for his strength, and pray for the channel, pray for all of us as well as a team. Please pray for us. Please, please, please pray for us. And remember us in whatever way when you are praying, whenever you are, wherever you are, think of us as well. And it really means a lot. Even if you don't give us anything, but the prayers really help us to continue going strong and continue going strong. So yeah, and I'm gonna close it here for tonight. But as usual, I'm gonna close in prayer. uh, Thank you, Heavenly Father. Thank you for tonight. Thank you for our brothers and sisters that have joined us. Thank you that we've learned something tonight. Ever Father, we thank you and we ask that you bless us with more knowledge, more wisdom, and more people that can come and teach us things, and we can go and apply it in our different fields, in our different environments. In Jesus' mighty name, I pray for each and every one of us as we are going in different places, that you be with each and every one of us and protect us until we meet again. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. So, family, we shall see you tomorrow, same time, same place on the Swahili Nation channel. One Africa Movement, One Africa Movement. Uh, uh, um, so please join us tomorrow, 9 p.m. East African time, 8 p.m. Central African time, 6 p.m. West African time. America, you're like 7, 8 hours behind Eastern time. So please join us. Australia, you are ahead of us. So people who are in Australia, South Korea, all those places, uh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And till we meet again tomorrow, from my side, it's shalom, and let's meet again tomorrow, same time, same place.